Chapter 89. With Tai Chi protecting everyone, the star demon couldn't get any closer. Jiang Changkong moved forward with his saber in hand. As his saber energy swept out, the star demon died quickly. He led them out of the star demon's encirclement. Along the way, he picked out some star stones and threw them to the soldiers. He didn't care about these star stones, but they were good stuff for the soldiers. How many star stones does revered Elder Jiang earn in a day? Some bodyguards looked at the star stones with unspeakable envy. You won't care about them when you reach the star ocean. Jiang Changkong chuckled. Most of these were grade 1 star stones with pitifully weak astral power. In less than half an hour, they killed their way out of the star demon group. After leaving the star demon group, Jiang Changkong said apologetically, "This place should be safe now. I apologize to you again." Jiang Changkong, "There's no need for that," Lu Feng said hurriedly. Lu Feng quickly said, "Next, I hope that revered Elder Jiang can make a move and protect our lives." "Yes, Zhao Qianjun is a scum. We got out of danger this time, but next time we might be betrayed again," another soldier said. "I heard from Zhao Qianjun and Chu Tianxing that they want to kill Jiang Changkong," another soldier said. "Jiang Changkong, Chu Tianxing isn't here this time because he's looking for you. He wants to kill you." "Huh?" Jiang Changkong's face turned cold. "Why? He wants to kill me for no reason?" The two people who tried to assassinate Jiang Changkong were sent by Chu Tianxing. They don't want Jiang Changkong to know about the special star demon. The soldier explained, this special star demon was captured by Zhao Qianjun and presented to the Chu family. Through the soldier's explanation, the soldiers learned the whole story. They captured the special star demon and presented it to the Chu family. However, they didn't expect that the star demon at the peak of the star ocean would appear and ruin everything. The Chu family is powerful. One of the bodyguards looked worried, but before he could finish, he was interrupted by the bodyguard. "The Chu family is indeed powerful, but they want us dead now. Why would they care about offending them?" Lu Feng spoke at the right time. "Actually, I also received news that the high-ranking military official that Lu Wuhai bribed in the firearms case was Zhao Qianjun." "What? It's Zhao Qianjun?" All the soldiers present paled. "The two people who tried to assassinate me were from the Blue Cloud Hunters, arms dealers," Jiang Changkong said calmly. "It's a pity that there's no evidence." Lu Feng shook his head and sighed. "I know a little about this matter. All the evidence has been destroyed." A guard hesitated for a moment before saying, "When Lu Wuhai was captured, Zhao Qianjun burned all the letters and contracts. You know about it?" Jiang Changkong was slightly surprised. "I only know some bits and pieces of information. It's not enough to form evidence," the soldier said. Lu Feng and Zhang Mo were silent. They glanced at an ordinary soldier. The soldier understood and said in a low voice, "What if we create evidence?" "Create evidence?" All the soldiers were stunned. Lu Feng went to Wu City and picked up a batch of bombs. "He was transferred here before he could report it," the soldier said. Lu Feng slapped his forehead. "There's a batch, but I forgot about it." Jiang Changkong's mouth twitched. His acting was very convincing. Zhang Mo said happily, "If that's the case, we just need to put the bombs in Zhao Qianjun's tent, and we can take pictures of it. We'll have evidence." "Yeah, we'll have evidence then." The other soldiers were overjoyed. "That's not enough. If we can get Zhao Qianjun's seal and write a contract, it'll be perfect." A soldier said in a deep voice, "How can Zhao Qianjun write a contract?" Everyone frowned. "My name is Li Feng. I can write many of Zhao Qianjun's letters. It won't be a problem for me to imitate his notes," the soldier sneered. "All right, that batch of bombs is very powerful. I'll give some of them to Changkong. Once we have the evidence, we can take them down." Lu Feng said. Jiang Changkong nodded. "Sure, I can take them down if they're seriously injured." "That's settled then." The soldiers looked at each other and discussed for a while. Jiang Changkong watched them leave. He then went to the place Lu Feng told him to pick up the bombs. He didn't actually have any bombs. He just needed to find a place to rest. He had left the bombs for Lu Feng. He still had some with him, and he would give them to them later. It wouldn't be a loss if he could take down a captain with the bombs. He sat down with his legs crossed and replenished his astral powers, waiting for the right time. Jiang Chongkong wasn't worried about the safety of those soldiers. Things would be much easier if Zhao Qianjun dared to kill them. Late at night, Jiang Chongkong's phone rang. It was a message from one of his soldiers. It was a success. Jiang Chongkong didn't stop and went straight to Zhao Qianjun's tent. The soldiers had already retreated from the bushes, leaving only a lone tent. Jiang Chongkong arrived quietly, and he could hear voices coming from inside. Why are there astral bombs here? There's no logo. It's not from the military. Is it a private product? Could it be that they hid some of it before? It's possible. Lu Wuhai might have kept some for himself. But why would he be here? A voice was suddenly heard. It's a nice night. Don't you feel bored hiding inside? Who's there? The two of them rushed out of the tent at the same time, and their expressions immediately changed. Jiang Chongkong? Lu Wuhai is colluding with you, Zhao Qianjun. Jiang Chongkong sneered. Mr. Chu, I didn't expect you to be a member of the Blue Cloud Hunters. I couldn't find you. You're asking for it. Chu Tianqing bellowed. His long sword pierced through the air, filling the air with water vapor. Kill. Zhao Qianjun didn't hesitate to grab his spear. At this time, he couldn't care about anything else. He had to kill Jiang Chongkong. Even if he could get the news out, he had to kill him. Great. Let me see what a genius from the provincial capital is like. Jiang Chongkong's sword was engulfed in golden flames. The astral power in his body surged and gathered in his sword. Boom! 60% of his astral power was converted into raging fire astral power. The golden flames sword slashed down with dazzling flames. Bang! Puffed! Blood splattered everywhere as Chu Tianqing was sent flying. He stared at him in horror. How could this be? How could you be so strong? Buzz. The Tai Chi diagram trembled when the spear arrived, but couldn't move an inch. Zhao Qianjun was shocked. His full-powered attack couldn't even break the Tai Chi diagram. Was this the mid-stage of the Star Sea realm? Goodbye. Jiang Chongkong sneered and abandoned his sword. Astral power gathered in his palms, but it was pure astral power. The powerful astral power formed a golden ball that was compressed and condensed. Run. The two's expressions changed at the same time. The astral power in the ball was so terrifying that even the peak of the Star Sea realm couldn't withstand a single blow. Once they were hit, there would only be one outcome. Not even their bones would be left. Jiang Chongkong flipped his hand and threw the astral power ball away. Rumble. There was an earth-shattering explosion. The astral power surged in all directions, and the tent was immediately reduced to ashes. The golden light shone through the night. Under the impact, the two spat out blood and were sent flying like broken sandbags. The weeds were reduced to dust, and the soil was sent flying. It's like a bomb has gone off. Jiang Chongkong looked at the damage he had caused with satisfaction. Bombs were too troublesome. His astral power was the best. Jiang Chongkong, you've hidden yourself well. Chu Tianqing's hair was disheveled, and he was covered in blood. He struggled to get up. Zhao Qianjun was lying there, barely breathing. I've underestimated you. You can still stand up. Jiang Chongkong was a bit surprised, but he didn't care. But you're still going to die today. Chu Tianqing's expression was ferocious. A few golden balls appeared in his hands, and he threw them at Jiang Chongkong. Die, astral power bomb. Jiang Chongkong's expression turned serious. He activated the Tai Chi protection and the bronze skin and iron bones. Boom, boom. The golden ball fell on the ground and rolled a few times. Then there was no more movement. Jiang Chongkong, are you trying to scare me? Chu Tianqing was dumbfounded. Was the bomb broken? Chapter 90. It was an empty ball with no astral power at all. Chu Tianqing didn't believe it. He threw a few more at him, but they were all broken. Something's wrong. Chu Tianqing's face darkened. Another bomb appeared in his hand, and he threw it out. Boom! The bomb exploded, but it didn't even break through Jiang Chongkong's Tai Chi painting. Li Feng, how dare you lie to me? Chu Tianqing roared, but as far as the eye could see, it was a complete mess. There was not a single person to be seen. A genius from the provincial capital? That's a bit exaggerated. Jiang Chongkong raised his hand and astral power gathered. A golden aura enveloped Chu Tianqing. Jiang Chongkong, I'm the son of the Chu family. I'm the weakest of the 4 Chu family brothers. Chu Tianqing stepped back with a ferocious look on his face. If you kill me, my 3 brothers won't let you go. Huff! Blood dyed the night sky red and sprinkled on the ground. Chu Tianqing flew a few meters away, his body twitching, but he couldn't get up anymore. Seeing Chu Tianqing's lifeless body dissipating, Jiang Changkong squatted down and searched. There was a jade pendant carved with a dragon pattern. It was infused with astral power and dazzling starlight. 10 cubic meters, a small pile of star stones, and a few bottles of medicine appeared in his mind. Compared to the star concealing ring, this jade pendant could also hide astral power fluctuations, but it had a larger space. They were all 3rd grade. Jiang Changkong was overjoyed. He didn't expect to find such an unexpected gain. 100 pieces of 3rd grade inferior grade, 20 pieces of medium grade, and 3 pieces of superior grade. How can you call yourself a young master? Jiang Changkong curled his lips and extracted 34,900 pieces of essence, energy, and spirit. Not bad. Essence, energy, and spirit. 65831. 7. He looked at Zhao Qianjun, who was still alive. Jiang Changkong killed him and dragged the 2 bodies to find Lu Feng and the others. Lu Feng and the others were waiting for him at the rendezvous point. The group of people were extremely worried that he would not be able to handle the 2 of them. If Jiang Changkong failed and they ran away, they would definitely anger Zhao Qianjun and Chu Tianqing. Everyone, sorry for the long wait. Jiang Changkong dragged the 2 of them over. Changkong. The group of people was overjoyed. They quickly gathered around and looked at the 2 corpses. Are they dead? Yes, he's dead, Jiang Changkong said. The rest is up to you. Li Feng searched Zhao Qianjuan's body and found a palm-sized device that looked like a mobile phone. There was a red dot on it. Handing the device to Jiang Changkong, Li Feng said, "This is the device used to track the special star demon." "Thank you." Jiang Changkong accepted the instrument and said, "Do you need my help next?" "Centurion Chung will definitely contact you. At that time, you can tell him the truth that we begged you to help us." Li Feng said, "The bomb you used is the one we stole from Zhao Qianjun." "Okay." Jiang Changkong agreed. "Then, Jiang Changkong, you can go about your own business. Leave the rest to us." Li Feng smiled. "Then goodbye." Jiang Changkong cupped his fists. "Goodbye." The soldiers smiled and sent him off. Jiang Changkong left with the device to track the special star demon. The device could only track the special star demon. It could not determine the specific location within a radius of 1,000 meters. A radius of 1,000 meters was not a problem. He followed the red dot and killed the star demon along the way. After the soldiers were done with their work, they would return to the city. He would not affect them when he killed the star demon. When he arrived at the special star demon's location, it was already late at night. He killed the star demon directly and used his blood energy to attract the star demon. After a night of killing, there was still no sign of the special star demon. Jiang Changkong was not discouraged. Now that he had the range, if one time was not enough, he would do it a few more times. The next morning, Jiang Changkong took out the device, and the special star demon's location changed again. Jiang Changkong chased after it and killed again. His essence, qi, and spirit increased slowly, but he was not in a hurry. The combination of the traceless 3 strikes and the fire blade was perfect. The fire hidden in the traceless 3 strikes was still silent and did not give off any aura. When night fell, the special star demon's location changed again. Could it be that the star demon is also on his way? Jiang Changkong mumbled and continued to chase. This was not impossible. The special star demon had escaped from the depths. It was very likely that it was rushing back. Just like that, he chased after and killed the star demon. On the 5th day, Jiang Changkong finally attracted the special star demon. At the same time, there was a peak star demon. Roar! Among the hundreds of star demons, a star demon at the peak of the star sea roared. Beside him, there was a peak star chi star demon with a collar on its nose. The star demon roared and pounced over without any hesitation. The star power surged and its sharp claws tore through the air, causing a deafening explosion. Traceless. Jiang Chankong's blade left no trace, and the fire was hidden deep. The edge of the blade was silent, and the momentum of the blade was silent as it collided with the star power. Ding! The long blade easily cut through the star power and landed on the sharp claws, making a crisp sound. Boom! A golden flame burned. The sharp claws of the peak star demon emitted the smell of burnt meat. Roar! The star demon roared in pain. Its star power surged, trying to extinguish the flame. Jiang Chankong raised his blade again and slashed at the neck of the star demon. The golden flame rose again and burned its neck. Roar! The special star demon roared. Fear flashed in its eyes, and it turned around to run. Jiang Chankong directly extracted the essence, spirit, and spirit of the star demon. He stepped on fire, and his Tai Chi armor rose. He directly pushed back the surrounding star demon and chased after it. Chi! The blade flashed, and the head of the special star demon flew. Blood flowed like a fountain. It's finally done. Jiang Chankong dug out the special star stone and held it in his hand. He was stunned. Jiang Chankong, Peak Star Ocean Level Upper Grade Martial Arts, Bronze Skin Metal Bone Art, Perfect 128000/12800 Tai Chi Scripture, Perfect 128000/12800 Traceless 3 Blades, Perfect 1/12800 Fiery Technique, Perfect 1/12800 Low-Level Martial Arts. Object Manipulation. Beginner 0 out of 500 Essence, Spirit, and Spirit. 69628. 7. Object Manipulation. Did I open it the wrong way? This is a mortal cultivation, right? There is object manipulation in the world of martial arts. How about I stop selling it? Jiang Chankong hesitated. Learning one more martial art required more essence, spirit, and spirit. But who could resist such a martial art? How many years of martial arts could it be compared to a book of immortal cultivation? Gritting his teeth, Jiang Chankong directly clicked upgrade. A cool air flowed into his body from the starstone. Cracks appeared on the special starstone, and it eventually turned into countless pieces. It wasn't a complicated route. It circulated in his body, and there was some information. This isn't the art of immortal cultivation. In other words, it was an auxiliary martial art. But that wasn't right either. The object manipulation was to use chi to manipulate objects and star power to move everything in the world. Li Qiuchuan and the others were thrown away by the object manipulation. In theory, if the object manipulation was powerful enough, it could move any object and achieve amazing lethality. The downside was that it was useless against people of the same level. He could barely throw them away, and it would be difficult for him to move those who were stronger than him. However, this didn't limit him. He had a huge amount of star power. Moreover, the biggest enhancement was the use of swords. Using chi to manipulate swords. The greatest use of the object manipulation is the auxiliary function. It's the use of chi to control weapons, swords, and sabers. Jiang Chankong pondered. Although he couldn't fly on his saber, he could still further improve his strength. Without hesitation, he directly upgraded the object manipulation to the perfect mid-grade. Another stream of star power was added to the star ocean. It was as colorless as the 3 traceless strikes and was hard to see with the naked eye. Sword manipulation. Jiang Chankong stood with his hands behind his back, and the object manipulation combined with the 3 traceless strikes. The long saber flew up automatically and flew according to his thoughts, slashing at the star demon. Whoosh! However, the object manipulation was only at the perfect mid-grade, and it couldn't be perfectly coordinated with the 3 traceless strikes. Chapter 91. The blade moved up and down, and the star demon died one by one. Jiang Chankong extracted the second-level ones and couldn't extract the first-level ones either. They were completely useless. Since so many star demon had been attracted, he had to kill them. Although the object manipulation wasn't perfect with the 3 traceless strikes, it was still faster to kill the star demon. As he practiced, he realized that the object manipulation was useful, but it also had its limits. Because he hadn't improved enough, it was fine when he used the 3 traceless strikes with abundant astral power. Once he used too much astral power, he wouldn't be able to control the 3 traceless strikes, and he would be injured when he killed. However, for the Kurnim, it was enough. He wouldn't need to use his hands anymore. He could control the blade with astral power. It was another day of killing. Jiang Changkong didn't stop until the evening. It wasn't that he ran out of Star Demon, but that there were too many of them and he was too lazy to kill them. His essence, energy, and spirit increased a bit. Jiang Changkong, Star Ocean, Summit Low Rank, Advanced Martial Arts, Bronze Skin Metal Bone Art, 128000/128000, Tai Chi Scripture, 128000/128000, 3 Traceless Strikes, Perfect 1/128000, Fiery Art, Perfect 1/128000, Low Rank, Middle Rank Martial Arts, Object Manipulation, Perfect 1/64,000 Essence, Energy and Spirit, 5103. 7 Jiang Changkong panted and found a place to sit down. He was about to take a break when he heard footsteps and faint voices. There were about 300 meters away and a dozen people. His 5 senses told him that they were heading in his direction. Are they Lu Feng? Perplexed, Jiang Changkong stood up and waited for the group to arrive. 300 meters was a short distance. In a few seconds, the weeds moved and a dozen people appeared in front of him, pushing a handcart. Jiang Changkong. A white-haired man walked out of the crowd and looked at him in surprise. Why are you here? It's Liang Zhe, Boss Liang. I'm heading out of the city to kill the Star Demon. Jiang Changkong smiled as he walked over. Don't call me Boss Liang. I'm just leading a team to hunt down the Star Demon. If you think highly of me, just call me Big Brother. Liang just smiled. All right, Brother Liang. Jiang Changkong didn't stand on ceremony. He couldn't help but look at the handcart, which was covered with cloth and tied tightly with rope. Then he asked curiously, Where are you going? Why are you traveling so late at night? Go look for chili archchung. There are some people in the army who want to eat something good. They're sick of eating Star Demon meat every day. As Liang just spoke, he could not hide the smile on his face. In the past, there was still He Long who fought with him for it, and there was also his relationship with Zhao Qianjun. If the army needed anything, it would never be his turn. Now that He Long was dead, he was the only member of the demon hunting team left. If the army needed anything, they would naturally look for him first. Moreover, all of them were considered to be on the same side in this division of property. Jiang Changkong expressed his understanding. The army was stationed outside all year round. Apart from a Star Demon, there were only weeds on the Star Desolate Prairie. Ordinary soldiers could tolerate it, but the officers couldn't. Congratulations, Brother Liang. You made a lot this time, Jiang Changkong said with a smile. Those officers didn't lack money, so they would definitely give a good price. The two chatted for a while, and Liang Zhe introduced him to the others. These people were all from Liang Zhe's team. His son, Liang Fei, was also there. He was in the early phase of the Starry Sea realm, 30 years old. Brother, the strength of the Star Demon around here is average. Why don't we go to the army together? Liang Zhe said in a low voice. With your strength, it shouldn't be a problem to get some 3rd-grade star stones. Jiang Changkong thought for a while. That's what I was thinking. 2nd grade and 2nd-grade star stones were not very useful. The army was usually in the depths, where there were many Star Demon. Since he needed energy, he naturally had to go to the depths. He would just treat it as a seclusion for a while. After agreeing, the group traveled together. Liang Zhe was very enthusiastic. They could be considered as a benefit group. Moreover, with an expert like Jiang Changkong around, it would be much easier. Jiang Changkong followed Liang Zhe and the others to the depths of the Star Desolate Prairie. Along the way, they didn't encounter any powerful Star Demon. Occasionally, they encountered a small Star Demon team, but they were only 1st grade and 2nd grade. Jiang Changkong threw all the 1st-grade star stones to them. He was too lazy to keep them. Although he had 2 spatial equipment, it was not convenient to take them out now. He didn't care about these star stones, so he planned to keep them for other things, such as 3rd-grade star stones. After traveling for 2 days, the group finally arrived at the army's encampment at noon. The walls were made of huge stones, and they were at least 3 meters tall. Inside the walls were rows of stone houses. Jiang Changkong observed carefully. There were star power fluctuations on the walls and the stone houses. The defense here was very strong. He wasn't confident that he could break it. Cheng Huai was still killing the star demon. The captain wasn't there either. Only a centurion received them. Jiang Gongfeng, Captain Liang. The centurion smiled and stepped forward. There were green vegetables and some wooden buckets on the black cloth. The buckets were filled with fish and water. They were all alive. "Thank you, Centurion Zhang," Liang just said politely. "Not at all. Chiliard Cheng wanted to come personally, but he was busy, so I had to do it." Centurion Zhang smiled. "Please come in. I've already prepared a banquet." "Centurion Zhang, after you," Liang just said hurriedly. "Jiang Gongfeng, is there anything you want to eat?" "I'll add more food," Centurion Zhang said. "Centurion Zhang, you don't have to be so polite. Anything is fine. I want to kill some star demon as soon as possible," Jiang Changkong said. "Do you want to bring a team of soldiers? Or come with us?" Centurion Zhang asked. "No need. I'm used to being alone." Jiang Changkong shook his head. He could only display his strength when he was alone. It would be too much of a burden if there were more people around. "Sure. I'll give Jiang Gongfeng some information about the nearby area after we eat." Centurion Zhang smiled. "Speaking of which, the headmaster of the martial arts school is also nearby. Don't you want to go take a look? Just tell me the location." "My target is the Galaxy Star Demon," Jiang Changkong said. "All right, let's eat first." Centurion Zhang invited them into the stone house. The banquet was already prepared. Since they were going to kill the star demon, Jiang Changkong did not drink too much. Liangzhe also had something to do, so he only drank a little. Centurion Zhang did not urge him to drink. If he drank too much in the desolate star plains, he would not be able to hunt the star demon. After eating and receiving the information, Jiang Changkong also brought some water and food. He rejected Liangzhe's invitation and left alone. After leaving the military camp, Jiang Changkong quickened his pace and went straight to the depths of the desolate star plains. There was not a single star demon near the military camp. Half an hour later, Jiang Changkong finally saw a cosmic cloud state star demon. He casually killed it and extracted its essence energy before continuing his journey. It seems that this place isn't filled with Galaxy C star demon. Jiang Changkong traveled for another 15 minutes and encountered a group of star demon, but he didn't see any cosmic C states. Did he have to go deeper? He wanted to find cosmic C states everywhere. That way, he would be able to progress faster. Jiang Changkong held the long sword and didn't look at the time anymore. After walking for a long time, it was almost evening. Jiang Changkong finally saw the Galaxy C star demon. In the early stage of the cosmic C state, there were 7 or 8 cosmic cloud state star demon. There were very few cosmic chi state star demon here. Object manipulation art. The long sword sliced through the air. It was as though there was a pair of invisible hands holding the long sword. It flew up and down among the star demon group, harvesting the lives of the star demon. Chapter 92. In the depths of the star barren grassland. As he killed the star demon, he consulted the information given by Centurion Zhang. Jiang Changkong had more or less figured it out. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that this place was a sea of stars. However, the star demon was a galaxy demon that led cosmic cloud states. Each team had a Galaxy C star demon. As for whether there were Stargate-level star demon in the depths, the information stated, yes, the military rarely encountered such a star demon. Even if they did, they would use bombs or armor to take care of it. No one in Jiang City could kill the Stargate star demon with their own power, except for Jiang Changkong. With his current power, it was no problem for him to kill an early-stage Stargate star demon. But if he kept going deeper, God knows if he would encounter the peak of Stargate. Jiang Changkong didn't want to die. Plus, there were many star demon squads here. Sometimes there would be 2 squads within 100 meters. Hence, he hunted the star demon nearby. Although he didn't have the essence martial compass, his 5 senses were already very strong. Compared to the essence martial compass, he had an advantage. He estimated the distance. This place was very far from the military. It would take him half a day to run at full speed. As for the school, it was the same. Fighting here wouldn't affect them. It was too troublesome to find the star demon, so Jiang Changkong used the old method again. He used blood chi to lure the star demon and kill them all. His bronze skin metal bone technique and Tai Chi Sutra had reached perfection. Before his star power and stamina ran out, he would charge out. Blood chi rose again, and the star demon shook again. The star demon charged over. Dust billowed, the ground cracked, and the weeds were crushed. Jiang Changkong stood with his hands behind his back. He used the object manipulation art to control the long sword and the fire blade. The long sword was like a dragon, rampaging through the star demon group. The star demon fell. The flames burned, but soon it was extinguished by blood. He used the fire blade instead of the golden flames. The golden flames were hard to extinguish. He was worried that if he lost his essence, chi, and spirit, it would affect his blood chi. His blood energy was like a rainbow, dyeing the night sky red. Jiang Changkong occasionally extracted essence, chi, and spirit and added them to the object manipulation technique to make up for astral power. When he was tired, he would hide and rest. When he was well rested, he would continue killing. With his previous experience, Jiang Changkong played very steadily this time. After a night of killing, Jiang Changkong was pleasantly surprised to find that he had more than 8,000 essence, energy, and spirit points. Even though there were only a few Tier 2 ones, there were a lot of them. He regretted not coming here earlier. At this rate, it would only take him 7 or 8 days to upgrade the object manipulation art to the StarCraft level. In 10 days, he would be able to reach the peak of Star Sea Realm. With motivation, Jiang Changkong became even more excited. The next day, he directly gave up on using the object manipulation art. The level of his object manipulation art was still too low, which affected his performance. He switched to using the Tai Chi Sutra and used his fists and legs to attack. His essence, chi, and spirit increased. More than 9,000, almost 10,000. Jiang Changkong kept changing his position. He had no choice. He had killed all the star demon in one area, so he had to change his location. After fighting nonstop for 12 days, Jiang Changkong finally managed to raise his object controlling art to the perfection of low-tier high-grade. Jiang Changkong, Star Sea Pinnacle Low Level, High Level Martial Arts, Bronze Skin Iron Bone Art, Peak 128000/128000 Taiji Sutra, Peak 128000/128000 Traceless 3 Cuts, Peak 1/128000 Fire Art, Peak 1/128000 Object Manipulation Art, Peak 1/128000 Essence, Energy, and Spirit. 7/098. Although there were still some flaws in the object manipulation art, it didn't affect him much. It was perfect with the fire sword art. The fire sword danced, and the fire sword chi overflowed, flying up and down in the sky. The astral power of the object manipulation art wasn't very lethal, but it allowed him to control the sword perfectly. How about the Taiji painting? Jiang Changkong made up his mind, and the Taiji painting appeared. The Taiji painting moved according to his will with the object manipulation art. Just like the Traceless 3 Cuts, it was slightly flawed, but it didn't matter. Everything would be perfect when the object manipulation art was also completed. Next, he had to complete the 3 martial arts and break through to the Stargate. Jiang Changkong changed his location again. He had killed almost all the star demons in the area, and the stench was overwhelming. Not long after he left, he heard a few people talking. Another boring trip. A slightly dissatisfied voice was heard. How is it boring? There's still Lu Wuhai in Gangxiang Budo School, right? A female voice was heard with a hint of disdain. He should be able to take 2 moves from you. 2 moves? You think too highly of him. The teachers in Jiangshan School are about the same as the principal. The dissatisfied voice continued, I just don't understand why you called me to come to this remote place. Maybe there will be a few geniuses in other cities who are worth our time. Another voice was heard. Don't try to lie to me. A depressed voice was heard. The Star Chi is from a martial arts exchange conference. Jiangcheng City lost to us, so they won't fight for it again. The other cities won't come all the way here. After all, a trace of the star chi is nothing. Following the voice, Jiang Changkong arrived nearby. There were 4 people, 3 men and 1 woman. One was at the peak of the star sea realm, and the other 3 were at the late stage of the star sea realm. The 4 of them looked very young, in their 20s. The leader was at the peak of the star sea realm. He was handsome, with black hair draped over his shoulders. He smiled and said nothing. One of them was burly, with muscles like dragons and bronze skin. He was the one who had said the depressed words. The woman was not bad-looking, only slightly worse than the female comrades and the female foodie. The last man was thin and had a scar that covered half of his face. He looked a bit fierce. His strength, coupled with his age, could be said to be terrifying. Ji Xiling and Ing Yinxue were both top students in the martial arts school, but they were only at the early stage of the Star Sea realm. The star chi? Jiang Changkong pondered in his heart. Was this Venus aura? The burly man spoke again. This time, it will be the same as before. We'll get the star chi and return to the city without any trouble. You can ask Yang Qingguan. He's the host and did some research before coming here. If there really is someone who can snatch the star chi, the mission will fail. The man with black hair draped over his shoulders smiled. It doesn't matter. If he can beat me, not to mention snatching the star chi, I can even lose my saber to him, the burly man said seriously. The man with the scar, who had been silent, finally spoke. Lu Wuhai is dead. He was killed by his junior because he smuggled arms. Huh? Dead? His junior? The burly man and the woman were shocked. Is there really such a person in Jiangshang City? That's the news I just found out. Yang Qingguan said lightly. But Pang Yun will be disappointed. When Lu Wuhai died, he was only in the middle stage of the Star Sea realm. His junior was about the same. Middle stage of the Star Sea realm. This Lu Wuhai is too useless. I thought that Jiangshang City had a talent. The man with black hair draped over his shoulders sneered. I can't even find an opponent. It's so boring. Senior, why don't we fight again? The burly man, Pang Yun, said disappointedly. The leading man's smile stiffened. You're a martial arts addict and a battle maniac. How many times have I beaten you? Don't you know fear? Pang Yun didn't care about these words. Instead, he was full of fighting spirit. Men are born to fight. Just fight again when you lose. The 3 of them, Jiang Changkong watched the 4 of them walk away and sent a message to ask the female senior about the star chi. Soon, the female comrade sent a reply. The star chi was a great treasure of the star desolate prairie. It was caused when the world changed and the star power sprinkled on the earth. Adding it to a weapon could make the weapon sharper. If someone practiced metal attribute martial arts, they could absorb the star chi to enhance their strength. In the beginning, there was a lot of star chi. It was just a wisp, and even the Stargate martial artists couldn't bear it. Now, it took a few years to condense a wisp, which could barely strengthen a top 3rd-grade weapon. Moreover, this star chi had been lost to the Gangshui Castle Martial Arts School a few years ago. Now it belonged to someone else. After figuring it out, Jiang Changkong was no longer interested. He might as well kill the star demon himself. To strengthen weapons, he had the Starlight Meteoric Iron. Chapter 93. Jiang Changkong had no interest in the star aura, so he continued to kill the star demon. The female senior said that she also wanted to go deeper to train. Teacher Chu Jun would lead the team. Jiang Changkong wasn't worried about their safety since his teacher was at the late-stage Starry Sea realm. He calmed down and continued to kill the star demon. His energy soared again. If there were no accidents, he planned to rush to the Stargate here. More than 9,000 energy every day. If he was lucky and a few peak star demon appeared, he could break 10,000. His energy grew quickly and steadily. Jiang Changkong focused on killing the star demon and did not care about the outside world. After another 13 days of killing, Jiang Changkong had perfected the object manipulation technique. There were only 2 martial arts left. In another 20 days or so, it would be enough. There were no more star demon nearby. He was about to move to another place when his phone rang. It was a female. She was confused. Senior, Lil Chongkong, where are you? I'm bored, Ji Xiling said. Jiang Chongkong was speechless. If you're bored, go play with Senior Yinxue. Why are you looking for me? Lil Chongkong. Ying Yinshue's voice came through. Jiang Chongkong, I didn't expect you to be together on the phone. But isn't that the relationship between you two? We've been here for a few days. It's so smelly, but we haven't seen a single Star Ocean Star Demon. Where are you? Do you have a Star Demon? I want to practice. Right. Let me introduce you to a few friends. Ji Xiling was a bit upset. They had reached the Star Ocean realm, but had not practiced yet. When they came to the deeper parts, they found all the smelly corpses of the Star Demon. I don't have a Star Demon here either. I'm looking for it. Jiang Chongkong smiled and said, I'll inform you when I find it. Goodbye. His way of killing the Star Demon was not suitable for the two senior sisters. They were only at the early phase of the Star Sea realm and needed his care, so it was better not to let them come. If you're bored, you can enjoy the magazine. If senior sister Yinxue is bored, she can eat more. Instead of studying the only copy, she was thinking about the Star Demon. Was she still a woman? After criticizing in his heart, Jiang Chongkong moved on to the next direction. He found a suitable position, killed the Star Demon, and drained its blood. He was very familiar with his movements. A few nearby Star Demon squads were attracted over. As he was killing the Star Demon, there was the sound of wind breaking, and a surprised voice said, After walking for so long, I finally see a living Star Demon. Boom! An unstoppable sword chi sliced a cosmic cloud state Star Demon in half. Blood and organs flowed out. Saber chi shot out and instantly split into dozens of saber chi, killing all the Star Demon that Xiao Chun had just lured over. What are you doing? Jiang Chongkong's expression was bad. The Star Demon he just lured over was intercepted by someone else. This person was none other than Pang Yun, whom he had met some time ago. He said the famous saying that men were born to fight and fight again when they were defeated. Ah, brother, sorry. I haven't fought in a long time, and my hands were itchy. Pang Yun turned around and scratched his head. I don't want this Star Demon. I'll help you kill the Star Demon. You can go. Jiang Chongkong waved his hand and found a clean Star Demon corpse to sit on. Why didn't he go for the Star Demon chi? Brother, you seem strong. Why don't we spar? Pang Yun's eyes flashed, and a powerful battle intent rose. Not interested. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. He wasn't interested in someone who couldn't even break his defense. Brother, you also use sabers. If I lose, I'll give you my saber. How about it? Pang Yun waved the saber in his hand and said with a hint of arrogance, Peak Grade 3. Jiang Chongkong glanced at it. It was a huge saber that emitted a high temperature. It was 1 meter long, and there was a dragon pattern on the handle. Not interested. Although it was a good saber, the one in his hand was also Peak Grade 3. It just lacked the high temperature. Pang Yun was anxious. Brother, let's fight. No matter who wins, I'll give you a superior grade 3-star stone. How about it? Jiang Chongkong squinted his eyes. If it was a challenge in the arena, he would agree. However, this guy was a martial arts maniac. He could either kill him or be bothered by him in the future. No, I'll give you 20 seconds to leave. Otherwise, you don't have to leave. Jiang Chongkong said coldly. His 5 senses told him that there were a lot of Star Demon nearby. Why? Brother, are you going to kill me? Pang Yun's face darkened. Although I like to fight, I'm not afraid of death. If you have the ability, it's your destiny to die. Jiang Chongkong, he couldn't be bothered with this idiot. Pang Yun's expression turned serious. The astral power in his body contracted and the heat on the saber was restrained. He was ready to fight. Rumble. 20 seconds passed in the blink of an eye. The ground was shaking, smoke and dust were flying everywhere. The Star Demon roared and ran. The grass was turned into powder. Pang Yun's expression changed slightly, but there was a hint of excitement in it. Kill the Star Demon first. Then we'll fight. Jiang Chongkong opened his mouth. Never mind. The Star Demon was already here. As long as this guy didn't steal his energy, he could be a free fighter. He took a step forward. The saber flew up and down, and the fiery saber aura engulfed the Star Demon. Good strength. Pang Yun shouted in surprise. I want to fight with you more and more. Jiang Chongkong didn't stop. More than 10 star demon died with every step he took. He searched among the star demon group to see if there was anyone at the peak of Star Ocean. Unfortunately, there was none. Since Pang Yun was here, were the other 3 people nearby as well? Starlight intertwined and flames shot into the sky, burning the star demon. The star demon died quickly. It was obvious that Pang Yun had the intention to compete with him. If Jiang Chongkong killed one, he would kill 2. If he killed 10, Pang Yun would kill 20. He suddenly felt that this idiot was a little cute. If he could help to kill star demons, wouldn't his essence, spirit increase even faster? If he could, it wouldn't be a big deal to be entangled by a martial arts fanatic, right? Should he give him a few more chances to challenge him? After fighting for 3 hours, Pang Yun's face was pale. He was drenched in sweat. His star force and stamina were exhausted. Why do you look fine? Pang Yun wiped his sweat and killed the Cosmic Cloud State Star Demon. Jiang Chongkong was still standing with his hands behind his back. He swung his saber in all directions and slashed at the Star Demon. The difference between us is too huge. Pang Yun gritted his teeth and fought again. You're not from Jiang City? Which province are you from? Jiang City, a martial arts school. As for the name, you don't deserve to know. Jiang Chongkong spoke indifferently. His tone was calm, but it was filled with arrogance. This way, he would be able to swindle martial arts fanatics even more. Gangxiang Budo School? I don't deserve to know. Pang Yun's face was filled with rage. A bottle of potion appeared in his hand, and he gulped it down. You must have taken a recovery potion in advance. I will definitely fight you. Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. I look forward to your performance. The fire-red saber chi reflected a scarlet light, looking as resplendent as the sun set. Jiang Chongkong strolled leisurely among the star demon. There was not a single drop of blood or sweat on his body. On the other hand, Pang Yun was in a sorry state. If he didn't take the recovery serum in time and use his star force to protect himself, he would have been injured by the star demon. Your blade technique is very special. You use chi to control the blade. If I knew this, I wouldn't be weaker than you, Pang Yun said stubbornly. Jiang Chongkong smiled. I like people who don't know what they're doing. Chapter 94. After another 2 hours, Pang Yun couldn't take it anymore. The potion could restore astral power, but it couldn't restore physical and mental strength. He was exhausted and sweating profusely. He had to stay close to Jiang Chongkong. You kill first. I'll catch up with you when I recover, Pang Yun said, panting. Jiang Chongkong ignored him and continued to kill the star demon. Pang Yun spent another 2 hours to recover. He didn't leave, but continued to kill the star demon. After another 3 hours, Pang Yun couldn't take it anymore. Jiang Chongkong was still killing the star demon. Pang Yun looked at him while panting. After a few hours, Jiang Chongkong didn't take any recovery potion. Don't you need to recover? Men have to last, Jiang Chongkong said in disdain. He wouldn't be a man if he couldn't fight for a day. Pang Yun looked serious. You can last a long time, but a man needs to be able to unleash great power. Yes, I can unleash great power too, Jiang Chongkong said confidently. I don't believe it. You've been using normal sword energy all this time, Pang Yun said with certainty. You wouldn't have lasted this long if you unleashed your power like me. Jiang Chongkong chuckled and didn't argue. He continued to kill the star demon with his fiery sword energy. Pang Yun recovered and said, Are you really from Gangxiang Budo School? That's right, Jiang Chongkong said casually. Pang Yun thought for a moment and suddenly said, You're a senior from Gangxiang Budo School, Budokai, Zhanghai, right? Although he was confused, he was very sure. Budokai. Jiang Chongkong frowned. What's that? You don't know? Pang Yun was even more confused. If you're not a senior who left and you're not from Budokai, how can you be so powerful? In his impression, only those seniors who had graduated and been assigned jobs in Gangxiang Budo School had such strength. Jiang Chongkong muttered, Tell me Budokai, and I'll give you a chance to challenge me. Really? Pang Yun's face lit up as she stared at him. You've expended too much energy today. Go back and rest. I'll be waiting for you at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, a kilometer north of here. After Jiang Changkong finished speaking, he looked at the endless star demon horde. With a few leaps, he left. All right, I'll wait for you. Pang Yun rubbed her palms together and left excitedly. He had finally met an expert. Endurance was nothing. Sometimes explosive power was more important. Tomorrow, he would definitely let that guy see his own abilities. As soon as Pang Yun left, Jiang Changkong appeared again and continued to kill. Jiang Changkong continued killing until the sky turned dark. After resting for a while, he continued killing. In the end, when he extracted the essence, qi, and spirit, there was more than 16,000. It was hard to find a young man who didn't want a salary and only wanted to be beaten up. If he continued to help, he would be able to perfect 2 sets of martial arts in half a month. After extracting the essence, qi, and spirit, Jiang Changkong continued killing for a while. He didn't care about the battle the next day. He didn't stop until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He found a place to rest and rushed to the location of the battle at 5:30. A burly young man with a 3-foot broadsword was emitting a scorching heat. An invisible wave of air spread and suppressed the weeds around him. His face was resolute, his hair was messy, and his eyes were sharp. Jiang Changkong walked over slowly. Pang Yun had been waiting for him for a long time. He was full of battle intent, strong astral power, and scorching heat. He seemed very excited. Pang Yun stood with his broadsword in front of him, looking unprecedentedly serious. I can't see through you. You should be the best opponent I've ever met. I won't bully you. If you can take a step back, you win. Jiang Changkong stood with his hands behind his back, looking calm. I hope you're as strong as you say. Pang Yun's broadsword vibrated, and the temperature around him increased. The fire was dazzling like the sun. Under the terrifying temperature, there were no sparks, and the weeds around him immediately turned yellow. Suddenly, the heat shrank and returned to the broadsword. Blade of wildfire. The broadsword slashed, and the air exploded, making a loud noise. A majestic aura accompanied this saber strike. It seemed like it could split apart everything, even mountains. Facing the attack, Jiang Changkong didn't dodge. He reached out with 2 fingers. Clank! A crisp sound was heard, as if a sword had clashed. 2 fingers clamped the tip of the broadsword, and it couldn't move an inch. A stream of scorching astral power poured down from Jiang Changkong's fingers and sank into the ground. How is that possible? Pang Yun couldn't believe it. Even a senior at the peak of the Star Ocean School would have to treat this attack with caution. However, it had been clamped by 2 fingers, and the blade qi inside the broadsword was completely removed. You've lost. Jiang Changkong stopped and said, Tell me about Budokai. Pang Yun stayed silent for a moment and then said, There's only one Budokai in Zhanghai. Budokai was a guild formed by the geniuses of a city or a province. Every Budokai was made up of geniuses from different cities. Budokai in Zhanghai was made up of geniuses from the 5 cities in Zhanghai. The threshold wasn't low. Martial artists in the middle phase of the Star Ocean School had to be less than 25 years old. Also, they had to be professional martial artists with a clean background. Those who could join Budokai were basically martial artists who had graduated. Every year, the Federation would allocate funds to fund Budokai's operations. The chairman of Budokai had a lot of power. Zhanghai was too small, so there was only one Budokai in Gangshui Castle. 4 large provinces, there was almost one Budokai in each city. It sounds like there are no benefits except for the chairman. Jiang Changkong sat on the ground and said casually. Pang Yun sat down at the side and said, There are many benefits. Let's not talk about the big provinces and the small provinces. Even a small province like Zhanghai can get a lot of resources. Since you're a student of a martial arts school, do you know about the martial arts conference? Of course I do, but I haven't participated yet, Jiang Changkong said casually. Haven't participated yet. Pang Yun's eyebrows twitched. He had never participated before. If he wasn't a senior, was he a newcomer? Yang Qinggan had investigated before. Gangxiang Budo School didn't have such a powerful person. Confused, Pang Yun continued. The purpose of the martial arts conference is to compete for a place to go to the distorted Starlight Land. The distorted Starlight Land. Jiang Changkong frowned. When the world changed, starlight fell, and the powerful star power distorted the space in some areas. There are treasures that fell with the starlight. There are only 3 places in the conference. At this point, Pang Yun revealed an envious expression. And in the martial arts tournament, there are 5. Before Jiang Changkong could say anything, he continued. Apart from that, there are some ores and medicinal plants. Special Star Demon. All good things in Jianghai province will be distributed and notified in the form of missions. From what you said, there are only benefits to joining Budokai. There are no disadvantages, Jiang Changkong said thoughtfully. Of course, there are sacrifices, such as capturing fugitives, helping the city to kill the star demon when needed, and so on. Pang Yin said, these are small things. If you want to join Budokai, you can transfer to Jiangshuing School first. Huh? I need to transfer? Jiang Changkong frowned. Yes, there are too few people from Jiangcheng in Budokai. They're not powerful enough, so they can't do much. Pang Yin shrugged and said, there are many seniors in Gangshui Castle's martial arts school. They are powerful. If they don't join, it's their loss, Jiang Changkong said calmly. I think it's your loss. Sometimes, people don't want you to join if you are powerful, Pang Yin said. Jiang Changkong smiled faintly and said nothing. Afraid that he would join? Standing up, Jiang Changkong turned and left. Where are you going? Pang Yin called after him. To kill the star demon. Take me with you. Chapter 95. Big brother, what's your name? Can we have another round? You really don't want to consider transferring to a martial arts school. This time you'll use your full strength. Let me see how strong you are. I know someone from Budokai. His name is Yang Qinggan. He's a senior in your Gangxiang Budo school. Pang Yin followed behind, chattering. He really wanted to pull him into the Gangshui Castle Martial Arts School. Of course, more than that, he wanted to fight again. Jiang Changkong stopped and looked at him. I saw you 10 days ago. You should have gotten the aura of Gold Star. Why are you not in a hurry to leave? You saw us. Pang Yin was stunned. We did get the aura of Gold Star, but big brother Yang Qinggan said he wanted to stay for a while to see his hometown and teach his juniors. Thank you. Jiang Changkong nodded and continued on his way. Big brother, fight with me again. Let me see your true strength. Hit me hard, as long as you don't kill me. Pang Yin said eagerly. His spirit was commendable. Jiang Changkong praised his spirit of fighting despite repeated failures. Then work for me. If you want to challenge me, sure, but I want to kill the star demon. If you can kill the star demon with me for a whole day and only rest once, you will be qualified to challenge me. Jiang Changkong said calmly. Only rest once? Pang Yun's face was pale. This is to train your endurance. The first time I killed for half a day. At that time, I wasn't Shanghai yet. Jiang Changkong said softly. Even if he wasn't Shanghai, he could still kill for half a day. Pang Yun looked doubtful, but after looking at the scene in front of him, he believed it. This guy's endurance was ridiculous. Pang Yun gritted his teeth and said, I'll try. Remember, this is your second chance. The third time won't be so easy. Jiang Changkong said calmly. I know. This time, I'll be prepared and use my strongest move to make you show your strength. Pang Yin said in a low voice. Then, let's begin. Jiang Changkong's 5 senses detected traces of the star demon and killed the star demon, letting him bleed to attract the other star demon's attention. The ground trembled once more as the star demon horde charged over. Kill. This time, Pang Yin didn't compete with him. Instead, she carefully performed every move and used every bit of her astral power. Unlike yesterday, when the star demon was directly cut in half with one slash, today, he only killed the star demon. Jiang Changkong continued to use the object manipulation technique and a mystic fire saber technique. Just an ordinary flame saber chi was enough to wipe out the star demon. After another day of killing, he obtained more than 17,000 essence, energy, and spirit points. Pang Yin only rested once in the middle of the journey. When night fell, she was so tired that she couldn't even move her fingers. Jiang Changkong continued to kill the star demon. After 3 hours, the star demon finally recovered. After deciding on the location for tomorrow's challenge, Pang Yun stood up and left. The walls were high, and there were many stone houses. The starlight was hidden, and nothing could be seen. Pang Yin walked through the huge stone door. She looked extremely tired, and her clothes were torn in many places. Little Yun Yun, you look so tired. Did you encounter the star demon? A woman in white was holding 2 magazines and looking at the tired Pang Yun with a smile. Pang Yun shuddered and quickly walked to the side. Sister Xiling, I still have something to do. Goodbye. Stop, Pang Yun. Look at you. Did you encounter the star demon? The man with black hair walked over with Yang Qinggan and the others. He frowned. We haven't seen the star demon for a few days. Tell us if you found it. Yang Qinggan was also depressed. He wanted to give his juniors some pointers and lead them to kill the star demon. However, there was not a single star demon here. Pang Yin stopped and looked at the man with black hair. Brother Fong Lin, do you have any way to increase my strength without any damage? What are you going to do? Fong Lin frowned slightly. Medicine could do it, but only for 3 minutes. After that, you will be weak for a whole day. Pang Yun was silent for a moment. I met an expert. I challenged him to a fight. I want to force him to use the second move. The second move? Fong Lin's expression changed. The others were shocked. What expert? You can't even force him to use the second move? They knew Pang Yun's strength. Even Fong Lin, who was at the peak of Star Sea Realm, would find it difficult to deal with her. Forget the second move. He didn't even use one move. He only used 2 fingers to block my full strength. Pang Yun was not depressed. Instead, she was in high spirits. This kind of expert is my goal. Could he be a Stargate martial artist? There's a Stargate in Jiangxing? Or someone from the provincial capital? Yang Qing'an's expression was gloomy. I know everyone from the provincial capital. He's from Gangxiang Budo School. I asked for his name, but he said I don't deserve to know. Pang Yun said in a low voice, so I want him to recognize me. I deserve to know his name. Everyone, you're doing this just to know his name? I don't know who in a martial arts school is so powerful. Ji Xiling held her chin and said seriously, but I can quickly improve your strength. Sister Xiling, you have a way? Pang Yun was surprised. Ji Xiling took out a book with a mysterious expression. The Sunflower Treasure Book. It's the best way to improve quickly. You deserve it. According to my guess, after cultivating it, it is very likely to strengthen the pectoral muscles. Pang Yun, I actually naively believe that you would have a way. Everyone, Pang Yun turned and walked away, ignoring the female comrade. Pang Yun, such a powerful expert. We will go with you tomorrow, Fong Lin said. No need. This is between me and him. If you go, you will probably annoy him. Pang Yun waved her hand and went into the stone house to rest. She was too tired today and had to rest well for the battle tomorrow. Why don't you know what's good for you? Ji Xiling felt that it was a pity. Shouldn't a martial arts addict only focus on improving? Why would he care about gender? She was definitely not a serious martial arts addict. Fong Lin thought for a moment and walked into Pang Yun's room. She didn't know what he said. The next morning, Pang Yun looked excited and came to the agreed place. The astral power in his body was restrained, and only a little bit of it could not be restrained. Compared to the day before, the astral power fluctuation was countless times weaker. The broadsword was no longer hot, only a faint residual temperature. His eyes were calm and full of expectation. He held the broadsword naturally in his right hand, looking very casual. Jiang Changkong slowly walked over. His astral power was restrained, and not a single trace of it was revealed. Today, I will definitely take a step back, Pang Yun said in a low voice. Jiang Changkong put his hands behind his back and said indifferently, do your best. If I take a step back, you have to tell me your name, Pang Yun said. Sure. Jiang Changkong chuckled. Huh, he shouted, and the astral power that he had been restraining suddenly burst out. In an instant, flames rose to the sky, and the temperature was guaranteed. Strong astral power was infused into the broadsword. It was still the same attack from the day before. Blade of wildfire. However, the power of today's strike was more than twice as strong as yesterday's. Bang, bang. The air exploded, and the airflow became hot. Pang Yun seemed to have merged with the broadsword and the fire. Jiang Changkong's expression was still calm. Facing this powerful saber, he only pointed his finger. Buzz. He stretched out his index finger and pointed at the sword accurately. Strong astral power poured down. Right then, Pang Yun gathered astral power in his left hand and blasted at the place where the astral power was pouring down. Boom! The ground cracked and dust flew in the air. A terrifying astral power raged, and the two of them bore the brunt of it. Puffed. Pang Yun spat out a mouthful of blood. He was sent flying, and the broadsword flew out of his hand. At the center of the astral power, golden astral power surged around Jiang Chongkong, suppressing the rampaging astral power. However, he didn't move an inch. You let me divert the astral power, but use your palm to disrupt the diverted astral power and make it explode. Good idea, but unfortunately, you're too weak. Jiang Chongkong said, I've lost, but I won't give up. Pang Yun stood up and picked up the broadsword. Tell me the third challenge. Kill the star demon for 3 days, Jiang Chongkong said. Okay. Pang Yun agreed without hesitation. Jiang Chongkong heaved a sigh. If you help me kill the star demon, I'll keep improving. How can you beat me? I'm worried about you. Chapter 96. If not for the fact that Pang Yun was quite normal, Jiang Chongkong would have thought that he was an idiot. He had no hope of winning, but he insisted on challenging. On the third time, he was defeated with one finger. After that, he learned that when Jiang Chongkong was still in Galaxy, he became even crazier and had to take a step back. Jiang Chongkong also asked him what he would do if he couldn't take a step back. Pang Yun answered without hesitation. He would use the drug once. He had to remember the name of every target. Before he left, he had to know their names. In the future, he would challenge him again until he defeated him. This was what he had been doing all this time. On the 7th day, Jiang Chongkong had already gathered enough essence, qi, and spirit to level up a martial art. He chose to upgrade the Raging Flame technique and complete it. With the leveling up of the Fire technique, he could obtain more than 10,000 essence per day from killing the star demon. Including Pang Yun, he would get close to 20,000 every day. At first, Ji Xiling and the others were worried about Pang Yun, but seeing that he was fine and energetic every day, they didn't say anything. Most importantly, this martial arts fanatic wouldn't bother them anymore. They couldn't wait for him to leave. A few days later, Jiang Chongkong received a message from Ji Xiling. The reward had come. She asked him to take some time to return to the city to receive it. Jiang Chongkong replied that he didn't have time for now. He would go back after leveling up to Stargate. The reward wouldn't run away anyway. It wasn't easy to get a free job. He had to hurry. Pang Yun's talent wasn't bad. During this period of time, he had improved rapidly and was showing signs of reaching the peak of Galaxy. Don't you find it boring killing the star demon every day? Pang Yun asked. Do you find it boring? Jiang Chongkong asked back. No, it won't be boring as long as there are battles, Pang Yun said. It's just that many people can't stand it. The star demon is too dangerous. If you have the strength, kill more to improve yourself. Jiang Chongkong said lightly. Pang Yun stopped talking and focused on killing the star demon. A day passed, and Pang Yun left. Jiang Chongkong continued his massacre. On the 3rd day, before the sun rose, Pang Yun carried his saber and prepared to go out. Little Yun, as soon as he walked out of the stone house, Fong Lin caught up to him and called out to him. Brother Fong Lin, what's wrong? Pang Yun looked at him in confusion. Fong Lin's expression was solemn. Wang Peng has caught up and has already entered the desolate star plains. Don't go out today. I see that you are about to reach the peak of the Star Sea realm. Focus on breaking through for the next few days. Wang Peng is here. Pang Yun's expression was unsightly. His younger brother's skills were inferior. Brother Chung, and one fair and square. What reason does he have to chase after us? There's no need for a reason. In a battle between warriors, the strong will decide everything. Fong Lin said in a low voice, when you break through to the peak of Star Ocean, you and I will work together. Together with Chung and the others, we should be able to fight. All right, it's just that I didn't tell Big Brother. If I don't go today, I don't know if he will be angry with me. Pang Yun frowned. I'll explain in the future. I will let Zi Ling and the others leave now. Later, I will go to the desolate star plains to find Wang Peng's whereabouts. Fong Lin sighed and went to look for Ji Xiling and Ing Yanxiu. It's too dangerous, Pang Yin said in a low voice. It's okay. We are all from the Gangshui castle. Wang Peng will give us a way out, Fong Lin said. Pang Yin did not say anything else and went into the house to cultivate. On the other hand, Jiang Changkong was a little puzzled that Pang Yin did not come. Could it be that she was tired of it? If she was tired, then so be it. He had already gathered half of it. With his current speed, he would be able to complete it in 5 or 6 days. When the traceless 3 blades reached completion, he would be able to step into the Stargate realm. His martial arts would also be upgraded to the intermediate realm. Another night passed. The next day, Pang Yun still did not come. Jiang Changkong focused on killing the star demon and did not think too much about it. After another 3 days, Fong Lin returned from the stronghold in the school with serious injuries. Brother Fong Lin. Yang Xingan quickly held him up, took out a medicine, and poured it into his mouth. After drinking the medicine, Fong Lin's face became ruddy. Thank you. I'm fine, but Wang Peng will be here soon. Let's fight it out with him. He's so unreasonable. His brother is useless, but he still won't let us go. Ji Xiling said angrily. Yang Xingan sighed and said, I asked you to leave with the principal and the rest, but you guys were unwilling. At this time, don't say anything else. Take the things and leave. This has nothing to do with you guys. Leave. What nonsense are you talking about? Loyalty is the most important thing between brothers. Ji Xiling said unhappily. You can throw that thing away. I don't want it anyway. Xiling, to think that you transferred from the provincial capital. Strength decides everything. If you can't do it yourself, you can only blame yourself for not having a big brother. Fong Lin smiled bitterly. Pang Yun's heart skipped a beat. I have a big brother. I got to know him these few days. I wonder if he will help. That big brother of yours, you've only known him for a few days. Will he help us deal with the Stargate martial artists? Fong Lin shook his head. Wang Peng has reached the limit of early Stargate. He could step into the middle stage of Stargate at any time. He's very strong. Big Brother's strength is unfathomable. Although he said he is at the peak of Stargate, I think he might be stronger. As for whether Big Brother will help, I think he will. He's also from Gangxiang Budo School, Pang Yin said thoughtfully. He's also from a martial arts school? Everyone was shocked. Gangxiang Budo School had such a strong person? That's enough. I'll prepare some food and drink. I'll be back soon. Pang Yin left in a hurry. Carrying the food and drink, Pang Yin ran to where Jiang Changkong was. Jiang Changkong's location was easy to find. He would be wherever there was blood energy. He was almost done gathering his essence, energy, and spirit. Just a few thousand more. Just as he was about to seize the time to gather it, he saw Pang Yun, who he had not seen for a few days, rushing over. Not bad. You're at the peak of Stargate. You've been in seclusion these days, right? Jiang Changkong praised. Big brother, I want to ask you for a favor. Pang Yun was a little embarrassed and said shyly. Jiang Changkong frowned slightly. Since when did you become so wishy-washy? Just say it. Pang Yun took a deep breath and said, I met a Stargate martial artist. His brother lost in the fight for the treasure, so he came after me personally. Big brother, you're also from Gangxiang Budo School. Please don't refuse. This matter also involves Gangxiang Budo School? Jiang Changkong frowned. Yes, Yang Qinggan is from Gangxiang Budo School. However, he did not want to involve the school, so he asked the principal to leave with the students. However, Brother Chung and wanted to give the things to Xiling and Yanxue, but they were too loyal and refused to leave no matter what. Pang Yun explained. It's also related to Xiling and Yanxue. Jiang Changkong looked at him. What realm is Stargate at? The peak of the early stage. Where is he? I'll go and kill him, Jiang Changkong said lightly. Pang Yun was speechless. Big brother, are you that fierce? Kill him directly? Say it, Jiang Changkong urged. Pang Yun quickly said, I don't know where he is yet, but I'm sure he'll find his way. All right then, let me know if there's any news of him, Jiang Changkong said. After talking about this, Pang Yun said again, then it settled. Big brother, how about we fight again? I must know your name. Jiang Changkong said lightly. Let's wait until the matter is settled. Okay, After the agreement, the two ate and drank to their heart's content. Pang Yin left directly after eating. Jiang Changkong turned around and continued to kill Star Demon. This time, he only killed for half a day. He gathered enough essence, qi, and spirit to perfect the traceless 3 strikes. Jiang Changkong thought for a moment and continued killing. He wasn't in a rush to level up. He tried to save as much essence, qi, and spirit as possible, or the cosmic cloud state would be useless. Late at night, Jiang Changkong sat cross-legged and looked at the essence, breath, and spirit of close to 10,000. He first recovered his astral power. Until the morning, his state recovered to its peak. A faint wave of star force seeped out of his body. Then there was golden light. Rays of golden light blossomed, and the surface of his body turned from bronze to gold. Strands of golden light passed through his clothes. He looked like a golden man. Looking into his body, he could see that his internal organs, meridians, and blood had all turned golden. Invincible. The astral power in his body surged, and a faint golden door rose from the golden astral power and stood on the star door. Stargate. Chapter 97. Flames burst out of his body, but they were golden. The astral power in his body had also turned into golden fire astral power. The scorching heat was even more terrifying than before, and the temperature was even higher. His entire body was emitting golden flames, and the terrifying temperature instantly set the grass around him on fire. It was like the sun. A golden flaming door rose from the fire, astral power. Then, the Tai Chi painting rose a black and white door. The traceless 3 sabers raised a colorless and faint door. There were 3 saber scars on the door. Then, the object manipulation art also rose a colorless door. However, there was a stream of energy flowing on the door. The 5 doors rose, and an invisible force enveloped his body. Tiny lines flew out from the Stargate and merged into his flesh and bones, sealing him. Jiang Changkong finally understood why the Stargate martial artists couldn't extract energy. The Stargate sealed the flesh and bones. It couldn't be extracted unless the connection was cut off. But Jiang Changkong didn't know how to cut it off. The Stargate rose, and a great amount of astral power poured out from the Stargate, pouring into the Star Ocean. The Star Ocean expanded again, and the astral power became more condensed and powerful. It was several times more powerful than before. Jiang Changkong looked at his data again. As expected, he had reached the mid-rank martial arts level. But then, a huge amount of information poured into his head, giving him a splitting headache. The bronze skin and metal bone art upgraded to the diamond body, making his body as hard as diamond. Including his internal organs, the defense inside his body was no weaker than the defense outside his body. The Tai Chi scripture upgraded to the Tai Chi mysterious art. It was mysterious and could hide the fluctuations of astral power. The 3 traceless blades upgraded to the 3 strikes of grace. It was so fast that it could kill people without injuring them. The burning fire art upgraded to the burning sun art. The astral power could be said to be the fire of the sun, but it was a weakened version. The object manipulation art upgraded to the Yuling art. It could control astral power and natural elements, such as water and fire. Jiang Changkong. Early stage of Stargate middle rank martial arts. Diamond body art. Beginner January 5000 Tai Chi mysterious art. Beginner January 5000 3 strikes of grace. Beginner January 5000 burning sun art. Beginner January 5000 Yuling art. Beginner January 5000 essence, energy and spirit. 1. 358 Looking at his own data, Jiang Changkong took a deep breath. The next step was to coordinate his martial arts. He was surrounded by a golden light, and the power of the blazing sun star surged and filled his body. Boom! Flames suddenly appeared, and Jiang Changkong was surrounded by blazing golden flames. Every inch of his skin, every part of his body, even his blood, was burning with golden flames. Vidra steps on fire. With a flip of his palm, there were golden flames everywhere. The Tai Chi mysterious art was activated. Everything dissipated. Jiang Changkong's star power was completely restrained. The 3 graceful saber strikes were just like the 3 traceless saber strikes from before. The strikes, and the sheathing of the saber were all extremely fast. Those of the same level couldn't even see them. With the upgrade of the Raging Flame technique, the accompanying Mystic Fire Blade technique and Mystic Fire Steps had also been upgraded. The style of the saber had also changed, becoming the Profound Yang Saber. The Golden Flame's Profound Saber was just the most ordinary saber move. Then came the Blazing Sun Blade, the Scorching Sun Blade, and the Setting Sun Blade. The Blazing Sun Blade was like the rising sun of the heavens and earth, filled with killing intent amidst the warmth. The Blazing Sun Blade was like the midday sun, blazing and scorching hot. The Sunset Blade was like the setting sun in the west. The heat wasn't obvious, and everything was restrained. The Mystic Fire Steps had also become the Profound Yang Steps. The flames under his feet were like a miniature sun. The astral power of the Yuling art surged, and the long saber danced in the air. Astral power was injected into it, and a faint buzzing sound could be heard. I can't take it. This was only a 3rd-rank weapon, which was 1 grade lower than his astral power. Weakening the astral power, the graceful saber flashed past so fast that all that could be seen was its afterimage. The blade passed by, and the grass was unharmed. The golden flames burned from the inside out. The Tai Chi painting moved according to his will. Jiang Changkong pondered. The Yuling art could now control the astral power of nature. So, can I use it with the Tai Chi painting to divert the force and use my opponent's astral power? Jiang Changkong looked into the distance. He realized that he could even see the lines on the grass 600 meters away. My 5 senses are enhanced too. There are no more star demon nearby. Jiang Changkong pondered. He wouldn't be able to get more essence chi from killing the star demon. Cosmic cloud states were completely useless to him. There weren't many cosmic sea states in a day. If he wanted to continue to improve rapidly, he would have to go deeper to kill the star demon. Ding dong. His phone rang. It was a message from Peng Yun. That person would arrive at the stronghold in half an hour at most. Half an hour? That's enough. Using the Mystic Yang Step, Jiang Changkong's figure turned into a phantom as he rushed towards the nearby school stronghold. With the Stargate state, Jiang Changkong's speed was extremely fast. In less than half an hour, he could already see the outline of the stronghold. The walls were made of huge stones. They glowed with faint starlight. It was a beautiful sight. Jiang Changkong approached quickly and looked at the door. There were 7 people gathered there. Despite the distance, he could still see that 2 of them were the 2 unreliable senior schoolmates. 4 of them were Peng Yun's group. At this moment, Peng Yun was lying on the ground with bloodstains on the corner of her mouth. The last person with waist-length hair stood in front of them. Jiang Changkong could only see her back view and the intense fluctuations of her astral powers. At the entrance of the wall, Ji Xiling and the others were furious, but they didn't dare to move. The strong astral power fluctuations were like fireworks. Cold chi spread in all directions. Ying Yanxue stood next to Ji Xiling with a serious expression. Ji Xiling, since you're hiding in the barren land of Jiang City, don't come out. Don't cause trouble for your Ji family. It was a young man with waist-length hair. His face was gloomy and full of disdain. Ji Xiling was enraged. Wang Peng, why did you hurt my friends for no reason? Fang Lin and the others stepped forward. We're all from Budokai. Why did you hurt them? Since you know that we're all from Budokai, you should be on my side. Don't associate yourself with these idiots from Jiang City. Wang Peng snorted coldly and glanced at Peng Yun, who was on the ground. Yang Qinggan, did you feed that thing to him? Peng Yun's improvement has nothing to do with me. He met a big brother in Jiang City. Maybe he helped him. Yang Qinggan's expression was cold. In a fight of martial arts, your brother is not as good as him. How dare you chase him all the way to Jiang City? My brother is not as good as you. As his big brother, how can I let him be bullied? Wang Peng said coldly. Hand over that thing, and you'll be fine. Otherwise, I'll cripple you all. This is Jiang City, not Gangshui Castle. Think carefully. Yang Qing'an's expression was solemn, his right hand gripping the hilt of his sword tightly. Jiang City? How can a small city like this make me afraid? Wang Peng snorted. Today, even if you call the principal of Jiang City's martial arts school and the major in the army, I'll cripple you all. As soon as he finished his sentence, golden astral power fluctuated and an indestructible sword aura shot out. I want to see the strength of a Stargate martial artist. Fong Lin snorted and made the first move. The green sword aura swallowed and a strong gust of wind blew. Do it! Ji Xiling and Ing Yinxue shouted and attacked at the same time. Everyone, I'm the only one who did this. Step back. Yang Qinggan yelled and charged at Wang Peng with his astral power. A bunch of weaklings. Wang Peng smirked. The golden sword aura was unleashed. Kaboom! Wherever the golden sword aura passed, the sword aura exploded and the gust of wind stopped. As soon as Fong Lin and Yang Qinggan touched the sword aura dissipated and they were flung away. The late-stage Starsea Realm woman was even worse off. Her sword flew out of her hand and blood spilled everywhere. She was flung backward and hit the wall. Pucci, Ji Xiling and Ing Yinxue trembled as a golden sword aura pierced through their right shoulders. Blood gushed out. Ji Xiling, think carefully. I'll destroy your martial arts with another attack. Wang Peng stood with his sword. He didn't feel proud at all after injuring them with one attack. He was already at the peak of the early-stage Stargate. It wouldn't be long before he reached the mid-stage of Stargate. Ji Xiling and the others only had one peak-stage Starsea Realm, and the other two had just reached the early-stage Starsea Realm. He wouldn't be afraid, even if there were twice as many of them. Sister Xiling. Pang Yun struggled to get up and stood in front of the two. This has nothing to do with you. Leave. It has nothing to do with you either. It's my business. Yang Qinggan wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and used his astral power to stop the bleeding. It's good that you're disabled. You can go back to Jiangsheng and retire. Ji Xiling snorted without fear. What are you talking about? Brotherhood is the most important thing. Also, Pang Yun, when is your brother coming? Ing Yinxue didn't say a word. She only supported Ji Xiling with coldness. I've already informed them. They'll be here soon, Pang Yun said anxiously. Reinforcements? No one can save you today. Just disable them together. A hint of viciousness flashed in Wang Peng's eyes. The golden sword aura appeared again and enveloped everyone at the same time. The invincible golden sword chi exuded a sharp aura from the sword chi. They already felt a tingling pain on their skin before the sword aura even got close. It was the sharp power of metal. Kill! They all looked serious. No one stepped back. They gathered their astral power and blocked the attack together. Boom! Puffed. Blood splattered and the ground was dyed red. Even though they worked together, they still couldn't block the sword aura. The sword aura raged and enveloped the six of them. It was aimed at their dantian. Once it was broken, they would lose all their martial arts. In an instant, a blade aura flashed. The blade aura was so fast that it was hard to capture its afterimage. It instantly blocked the six of them. Ding, ding, the sword aura and the blade aura collided. The blade aura seemed to be controlled by an invisible hand and blocked the sword aura. Huh, there's such an overlord in Jiangshan? Wang Peng was surprised. He turned around and saw a shadow approaching them quickly. In just a few breaths, the shadow was already in front of them. Wang Peng's expression was cold. You want to be nosy? Jiang Changkong's eyes were cold. His astral power was surging in his body. You came to Gangxiang Budo School and bullied my senior. Have you thought about how you're going to die? My brother is here, Pang Yun said excitedly. Chapter 98. Little Changkong, Ji Xiling, and Ing Yinxue were shocked. They did not expect Jiang Changkong to come. Jiang Changkong is Pang Yun's big brother? Jiang Changkong. Fong Lin and the others were dumbfounded. The one who just saved them was Jiang Changkong? Pang Yun was dumbfounded. Big brother is Jiang Changkong? What happened to the Starsea Intermediate stage? You're courting death. Wang Peng's eyes flashed with killing intent. He stepped forward, his body turned into a golden light, and the sharp sword chi came to kill. Buzz. However, as soon as he took a step forward, killing intent suddenly appeared behind him. The blade that blocked his sword chi appeared again, and this time it was emitting flames. He quickly turned around and used the sharp sword chi to block the fast blade. However, the blade was too fast, so fast that he could only catch a trace. Clang! It was a close call. The long sword collided with the blade, and the long blade flew back and forth. What a strange blade manipulation technique. Hand it over later, and I can make your limbs whole. Wang Peng snorted coldly. His left hand raised a sword finger, and the sword chi shot out, turning into countless sword chi, covering the long blade. What a pity! Zhang Changkong sighed softly. One blade was enough to kill him, but the quality of the weapon was too poor. It could not bear too much of his power, so the sword chi was able to catch a trace. If it were a fourth-grade blade, this guy would have been a corpse now. The sword chi blocked the long blade, and Wang Peng's body was so fast that it seemed to be divided into 4 figures. Not bad, Zhang Changkong praised. He was about to make a move when a strange feeling suddenly surged in his heart. He seemed to be able to hear the trajectory of the sword. He was going to stab his lower abdomen. Surprised, Zhang Changkong did not dodge, and the Tai Chi mysterious art protected his body. Buzz! The blade stopped 3 inches away for his lower abdomen. He was really going to stab his lower abdomen. This feeling, the 5 senses, invincible Vajra body, actually had such an ability? Kill! Wang Peng shouted softly, and the sword chi was activated. Its power was a bit stronger, and the Tai Chi diagram was full of cracks and was about to break. With such an opponent, I can test out my thoughts. Zhang Changkong's mind spun. He used the Tai Chi mysterious skill to dispel the force, and the vigorous star power poured out. How could that be? Wang Peng's expression changed. The star force sword chi was his sword chi. He wouldn't have thought much of it if it was just deflecting it. But now, the sword chi was directed at him. Although some of the sword chi had already dissipated, this scene was still strange enough. Heaven and earth great shift. It worked. Zhang Changkong understood in his heart that upgrading his martial arts to the middle stage was not as simple as an ordinary upgrade. It also had many special characteristics, such as indestructible, strengthened 5 senses, and could be said to be able to predict the enemy's movements. The Tai Chi mysterious art could hide one's cultivation. Combined with the Yuling art, it could form the effect of the great universal shift. Boom! The sword chi exploded, and Wang Peng was forced to retreat, looking at him in shock. You can end this now. After verifying his thoughts, all that was left was to deal with this fellow. Zhang Changkong raised his right palm. Golden light shone brightly, and a golden flame burned. Golden flames ignited beneath his feet, and as he took a step forward, his afterimages appeared one after another. Diamond stomping fire. Die! The killing move arrived in an instant. Wang Peng's expression was solemn, and his sword moved again. The golden light shone brightly, and it was incomparably sharp. As his palm fell, the diamond flame and Tai Chi appeared. Both sides came into contact. Tai Chi deflected the force, and Yuling chant was used. Heaven and earth great shift. Boom! His own sword chi against the palm force, and the flames instantly drowned Wang Peng. Puchi! Blood gushed out, and Wang Peng was sent flying. Bang! He landed heavily on the ground, and the ground cracked. A small city? A barren land? Zhang Changkong walked forward slowly, and the golden flames on his body burned fiercely. Today, you will die in this barren land with a grudge. He had heard these words just now, and his 5 senses were terrifyingly enhanced. He raised his right palm again, and the golden flames gathered into the Tai Chi diagram and struck down. Stop, you can't kill me. If I die, Budokai will not let you off, and the Federation will find trouble with you. Wang Peng's expression changed, and his eyes were filled with fear. He shouted anxiously, Little Changkong, disable him, but don't kill him, Ji Xiling reminded. Ji Xiling, arg. Wang Peng had just opened his mouth, and blood gushed out. He felt a sharp pain in his abdomen, and a strong stream of astral power poured out of his body. Disable him just like that? That's too easy on him. Zhang Changkong said calmly. He's from Budokai after all. Just like how he treated us before, he dared to disable him, but he didn't dare to kill him. Ji Xiling explained. If you want to kill him, you have to obey the Federation's laws, and only the Budokai's chairman has the power to do so. Jiang Changkong was surprised. The Budokai's chairman has the power to decide life and death. Yes, he can just charge someone with a crime, report it to the higher-ups, and execute him on the spot, Feng Lin added. Jiang Changkong nodded. He suddenly felt that the chairman had a lot of power. He could kill whoever he wanted, and there was no room for negotiation. If he were to become the chairman, would he be able to kill whoever he wanted? Lil Changkong, how did you become so powerful? Ji Xiling and Ying Yinxue came over and asked curiously. Because I'm a genius. I've just entered the Stargate state. Jiang Changkong said. He paused for a while and then asked, what are you going to do with this guy? Leave him here. He'll find a way to beg someone to take him away. Even if he dies, it has nothing to do with us. Ji Xiling said. Jiang Changkong nodded. He was about to speak when Yang Qinggan walked over and searched Wang Peng's body. He found a jade pendant. Yang Qinggan tossed the jade pendant to Jiang Changkong and said, this is a piece of space equipment. There are some good things he collected in it. Jiang Changkong accepted the jade pendant and said, I'm going back to the city to get my reward. Let's go back too. The people from the school left a long time ago. We're tired of staying here, Ji Xiling said. Can you guys walk now? Jiang Changkong looked at them. His injuries were severe. No problem. We'll be fine after taking the medicine and resting for half an hour. Peng Yun was the first to reply. Big brother, so you're Jiang Changkong. I finally know your name. Jiang Changkong. What happened between the two of you? Ji Xiling asked curiously. Hurry up and recover. We'll talk on the way. Jiang Changkong said calmly and put away his sword. They began to recover. Wang Peng curled up and did not dare to say a word. Half an hour later, their injuries were stabilized. Jiang Changkong brought them away. Wang Peng wanted to follow, but was flung away by Jiang Changkong's astral power. If you dare to follow me again, I'll break your legs. Jiang Changkong, I will wait for you at the provincial capital's martial arts competition. That day will be the day you die. Wang Peng looked at him with hatred and let out a shrill scream. You're just an ant. Why would I care? Jiang Changkong sneered and left with them. The group of people gradually walked away, leaving Wang Peng alone. There was no one inside or outside the walls. He was the only one there. Without food and water, he would definitely die if no one came to his rescue. Wang Peng put his hand into his pocket and was about to take out his phone. A blade of grass flew toward him and slit his throat at the speed of lightning. His throat was unharmed. The golden flames burned his body from the inside out. Well, I care about an ant too. Jiang Changkong muttered to himself. He was already crippled, but his connections weren't. He could still cause trouble in the future. He hated trouble. They had already walked far away and did not see the golden flames behind them. On the way, Ji Xiling kept asking him about what had happened between him and Peng Yun. Especially from her tone, Jiang Changkong seriously suspected that this woman was thinking of something bad. Before he could explain, Peng Yun told him everything that had happened in the past few days and how Jiang Changkong had taught him. Working for free had become training. Reaching the top of Star Ocean was the best evidence. Jiang Changkong also asked about Budokai. There was one president and 2 vice presidents. The other members were ordinary members. The Federation would issue missions, and the president would get a commission if the members completed them. The president would know about some good missions in advance and could do them on his own if he was interested. So, Jiang Changkong asked what was on his mind. What do you think? Do you want to be the president? The 6 of them, we wanted to invite you to join us, but you want to be the president? Chapter 99. At the martial arts school in Jiang City. The school was very lively. A group of strangers, youths and teenagers, gathered together. Hi, senior sister. As soon as they entered the school, the group of unfamiliar teenagers hurriedly greeted them politely. Okay, work hard. Ji Xiling nodded and encouraged them. Work hard and pass the 3-year simulation as soon as possible. After saying that, they left straight away. Jiang Changkong was puzzled. Did they just acquire astral power? The fluctuation of astral power from those teenagers was very weak, just like when he had just acquired it. Are you so busy that you're confused? Ji Xiling rolled her eyes. The school is recruiting students. We miss them. Jiang Chongkong was enlightened. The principal had led some people to kill the star demon in the Star Meadow and left before them. Apart from sending the principal away, they were also recruiting students. Yinxue, take them to rest. I'll go to the principal with Chongkong to get the reward, Ji Xiling said. Okay. Ing Yinxue answered coldly and led them to the cottage. Jiang Chongkong and Ji Xiling went to the principal's office. Along the way, he heard a lot of students talking about him, but most of them didn't know him. There's a genius in Jiang City. The firearms case was solved by our school. I heard that he became a Star Ocean martial artist in less than a year. Senior Kong will also be an influential figure in the future. I just hope he doesn't end up like Lu Wuhai. It's okay to stay in school, but it'll be troublesome if he causes trouble. Jiang Chongkong shook his head and chuckled. Ji Xiling smiled. You're a celebrity now. Don't take what they said to heart. You're different from Lu Wuhai. I'll leave Jiang City, but I might not go to the major provinces. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. They arrived at the principal's office. The door was open. Chun Hua was inside, sipping tea with a skinny middle-aged man. The skinny middle-aged man had messy hair and a ruddy face. He was exuding a strong wave of astral power, the peak of the sea of stars. Principal, Uncle Chun, we're back, Ji Xiling said. Come in quickly. The two of them stood up at the same time and beckoned the two of them to enter. The thin middle-aged man said enthusiastically, You must be Chongkong? I am Principal Yubalin. Hello, Principal. Hello, Vice Principal. Jiang Chongkong nodded and greeted them. Good. I can't see through you anymore. Rivertown really has an incredible genius, and he's even from my martial arts school. Yubalin patted Jiang Chongkong's shoulder and said excitedly, Your reward has been sent to the school. Sit down and tell me. Jiang Chongkong and Ji Xiling sat down, and Chun Hua poured tea for them. Yubalin went to the desk, opened the drawer, and took out a piece of paper. The paper recorded the matter of the firearms and the reward for his contribution. There's a slight change in the situation. You successfully stole the criminal evidence. This doesn't affect the credit. It's just that it's not convenient for the person to bring it up. Yubalin said. Jiang Chongkong nodded and read the details on the paper. In the end, he killed a few bosses and was attacked by a group of people. Cheng Huai also got a share of the credit, but it didn't affect him much. Yubalin pointed at the rewards. Look, it's very generous. There were 4 rewards. First, 100 top-notch rank 3 star stones. Just like his previous life, there would be some bonuses, but not a lot. Second, the military of Rivertown would specially approve the offer. If it was determined that the target had committed a heinous crime or was in the process of committing one, he would have the right to kill first and report later. Other than that, he could mobilize 100 soldiers, including the Centurion. He could order the 100 soldiers to kill the Star Demon, as long as they didn't do anything illegal. He could get half of the profits, only within Rivertown. Third, distribution of jobs. When he reached the Stargate level, he would directly enter a large province and become a small commander. Normally, a small commander would have to be in the early stages of Stargate. Jiang Chongkong was strong enough now. However, it was different for a large province. There was a lot of competition in a large province. It didn't matter. During the early stages of Stargate, he definitely wouldn't be able to become a small commander. Fourth, recommend him to join the large province of Budokai. It was a generous reward, but Jiang Chongkong didn't need it. All right, I haven't reported the matter of you getting rid of Zhao Qinjun. However, it won't affect much, so there won't be any rewards. Yubalin said, I don't care about this bit of credit. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. He wasn't interested in credit anymore. He couldn't exchange it for energy. Chun Hua saw that his expression wasn't right and asked, Why? Are you not satisfied? The reward was generous, but geniuses had high standards, just like Lu Wuhai. Yubalin didn't say anything and just smiled at him. It's not that I'm not satisfied. The reward is generous, but I don't want to be in the army. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. A small commander from a large province. I'm afraid the youngsters of Budokai and Jianghai would want to go there no matter what. Then what do you think? Tell us. Yu Balin said, "The school supports independent entrepreneurship. As long as it's not illegal, you can tell us if you have any ideas." Xinhua added, "As long as the school has the ability, you can ask for anything." Jiang Changkong thought for a while and said what he wanted. "I want to be the president of Budokai." On the way, he had asked Ji Xiling and the others about how to be the president, but they didn't know either. They only knew that the president needed to be very strong and a professional martial artist. The two principals, the corner of Ji Xiling's mouth twitched. "You've made up your mind. Your heart is set on this. This is very difficult." The two principals looked at each other and smiled bitterly. "Very difficult?" Jiang Changkong's eyes lit up. "Does that mean there's a way? Let me introduce Budokai to you first." Yu Balin thought for a while and said, "Budokai is semi-official. Although there are people from the Federation, they don't interfere. The management is very loose. The president can make his own rules in Budokai. He has a lot of power." Jiang Changkong listened quietly. "The president of Budokai must have the strength of the peak of Stargate. Also, the people in the association must be convinced and willing to listen to you. You can't use force to coerce them. There is a target every year, which is to kill Stargate for the Federation and hand in Starstones. The exact amount is determined according to the size of Budokai." Jiang Changkong listened to these conditions. In terms of combat power, with his current strength, he should not be weaker than the peak of Stargate. Middle-tier martial arts had given him a huge boost. With Vajra stepping on fire and heaven and earth great shift, he was confident that he could not be defeated. It was even possible that he could kill the peak of Stargate. However, what the other party wanted was the realm, not combat power. "Can we build a Budokai ourselves?" Jiang Changkong asked. "In theory, any city can build a Budokai, but if we can't meet the target, the president needs the peak of Stargate," Yu Balin said. "I will definitely be the peak of Stargate in the future." Jiang Changkong said in a low voice, "I can give up all these military rewards. I just want to be the president of Budokai." Ji Xiling, "All right, you've gone completely crazy." Xinhua's expression changed slightly. He reprimanded, "Changkong, what nonsense are you talking about? If you can go to a big province and become a small commander, you will be much more glorious than the president of Budokai." "Vice Principal, I have my own ideas. I know what I'm doing," Jiang Changkong said lightly. Whether it was a small commander or a big province, Budokai, they all had to be restrained. However, the president was different. He was not restrained. He could do whatever he wanted. It was his own team. His thinking was similar to Lu Wuhai. He would rather be the head of a chicken than the tail of a cow. However, he was confident that he could support Budokai by himself. More importantly, these credits could not be exchanged for Starstones. The president's identity could give him energy. Chapter 100. Yang Qinggan, this super genius, he had finally seen it for himself. He had provoked Wang Peng and was chased all the way to Rivertown. He had asked around on the way. Geniuses from Rivertown and the other three cities were not high up in Gangshui Castle. Gangshui Castle dared to say that Rivertown was a remote place. What about a big province? Which corner of the world was Rivertown? Have you really made up your mind? Yu Balin frowned. He did not want Jiang Changkong to give up this opportunity. He was going straight to a big province. For ordinary people, even for a principal like him, it was a chance to rise to the top. "I've made up my mind. Plus, I'm already in the early stages of Stargate," Jiang Changkong said firmly. Early stages of Stargate. Yu Balin and Xinhua were shocked. Jiang Changkong nodded. He no longer hid his strength. His astral power fluctuated, and an aura that surpassed the peak of the galaxy gushed out. The two principals felt pressured by the astral power, and their bodies sank. Good. Yu Balin laughed. "I'll pull some strings for you and get Budokai established." Jiang Changkong said, "It's good that you can do it." "Thank you, Principal." "Of course you can. You have the talent. The establishment of Budokai will be of great benefit to Rivertown." Yu Balin stood up. "There's no time to lose. I'll make a move now. Wait patiently. We'll hear from you in 5 days." "Thank you, Principal." Jiang Changkong thanked him again. Yu Balin could not hide his smile. "Don't thank me. You have the talent and the school will support you. Plus, the stronger you are, the higher your status is, the better it will be for me. The rewards from the Federation will be more than enough for me. The Martial Arts Exchange Conference is coming soon. I'll bring you there. You'll make the school proud. The Federation would reward those who nurture talents. The stronger Jiang Changkong was, the higher his status would be, and the more generous the reward would be. Not to mention Budokai. As long as Jiang Changkong had the ability, even if he wanted a better position than a junior commander, he would support it. Jiang Changkong replied solemnly, I will not disappoint you. After the discussion, Jiang Changkong and Ji Xiling left. Principal Yubalin was in charge of Budokai. He wasn't strong enough, so he had no choice but to use his battle merits to exchange for it. Thus, he could only rely on the principal. Yubalin's network might not be big, but with his contribution this time, there should be no problem. Ji Xiling walked beside him and couldn't help but ask, Why do you want to be the president? It's better to be the head of a chicken than the back of a cow. Moreover, it gives the martial artists of Rivertown a place to go. Jiang Changkong said calmly, Senior, if it's done, are you willing to join the association? How can I refuse a brother's invitation? Ji Xiling put her arm around his shoulder. We're good brothers for life. Jiang Changkong glanced at her chest. It was a pity that she was a woman. When they returned to the hut, Peng Yun and the others were eating. Ying Yanxue was eating her rice bowl. Seeing them return, Peng Yun immediately stood up. Brother Changkong, let's fight again. Jiang Changkong was speechless. How persistent? What reward? Is it a big province? Ying Yanxue raised her head and asked, I don't want a reward. I want to be the president. Jiang Changkong told them everything. Rivertown Budokai? The six of them were stunned. They thought that Jiang Changkong was just joking. They didn't expect him to really do it. Are you out of your mind? The leader of a big province, Budokai, the president of Gangshui Castle. You can't even imagine it. Fong Lin and Yang Qinggan said at the same time. No matter where you go, it's all about your own strength. With this strength, it's the same everywhere. Jiang Changkong said lightly, Senior Yang Qinggan, if it's done, are you willing to join Rivertown Budokai? Yang Qinggan said without hesitation, If it's done, I'm naturally willing to fight for Budokai with all my might. I'll join too, Ying Yanxue said. Can I join? Peng Yun interrupted. Jiang Changkong was stunned. Aren't you from Gangshui Castle, Budokai? Peng Yun pouted. It's boring to not be valued there. Sister Xiling said that you're very loyal. Ji Xiling's eyes flashed, and she said with a smile, Brother Fong Lin, Sister Li Shuiyun, will you join? The two of them looked at each other and hesitated. We will think about it. Humans strive for higher ground, and water flows to lower ground. Both of them wanted to climb higher and reach a bigger platform. Jiang Changkong did not force them. Let's fight again, Peng Yun said impatiently. Jiang Changkong wanted to reject her, but when he thought of the battle with Wang Peng, he agreed. Peng Yun was very excited. She quickly drew her sword and prepared to fight. Ying Yanxue and the rest retreated to the side to make space for them to fight. Jiang Changkong stood with his hands behind his back. This time, he used a few more moves. Wildfire Blade. The first move was an ultimate move. Its power increased by a few times, and it was much stronger than before. Jiang Changkong did not dodge. His sharp eyes could clearly see the trajectory of the long sword. His ears trembled. The sound of the long sword slicing through the air and the trajectory of the long sword appeared in his mind, forming a mysterious picture. His target was his own head. A strange feeling came over him. Jiang Changkong slowly stretched out 2 fingers. Everyone trembled and looked at the two of them in shock. Jiang Changkong seemed to have expected it. He stopped his fingers and put the long sword up. Ding! The long sword stopped 3 inches above his head. It felt the same. He could predict the enemy's moves. Jiang Changkong was excited. He did not know that there was such a benefit to having his 5 senses enhanced. His sense of danger had increased by many times. Again, Jiang Changkong let go of the long sword and said calmly, Okay. Peng Yun drew her sword back and attacked again. This time, he changed his attack method. His body was like a ghost, and his sword was like a phantom. Jiang Changkong's eyes were sharp. His real body could be seen clearly among the phantoms. His waist. He pointed his finger and accurately hit the long sword that was coming for his waist. His astral powers pushed Pang Yun back. Boring. We are not on the same level. It's so boring. Ji Xiling was bored. She might as well go back to her room and read some books. Ying Yinxue nodded in agreement. The gap between them was too big. Pang Yun could not even take one move. If it were someone else, they would not be in the mood to fight. But Pang Yun was not an ordinary person. He kept on fighting until he defeated his opponent. In order to hone his ability to predict the enemy's moves, Jiang Changkong was happy to let him experience a few more defeats. Soon, Ji Xiling and Ying Yinxue took Fong Lin and the others to visit the school. Yang Qinggan followed them. He had to take a good look at his alma mater. Outside the cottage, the two continued to fight until Pang Yun was exhausted. He lay on the ground, panting. "We'll continue tomorrow," Jiang Changkong said calmly. "Xiao, we'll continue when you're done," Pang Yun panted. "As long as you're fine." Jiang Changkong smiled. After dinner, Jiang Changkong continued to practice with Pang Yun. Late at night, when Jiang Changkong returned to his room and was about to take a bath and sleep, Yang Qinggan arrived. Yang Qinggan went straight into his room and took out a glass bottle. Inside was a pool of golden liquid. Essence, Qi, and Spirit. 2,000. Withdraw. Jiang Changkong's eyebrows twitched. 2,000? This was the same essence, Qi, and Spirit as the star stones of the Hidden Star Realm. Yang Qinggan passed it to him. "For you. This is the treasure." "What is this?" Jiang Changkong was slightly curious. Ordinary medicines did not contain essence, Qi, and Spirit. Otherwise, he would have made medicines long ago. A medicine made from a drop of diluted blood. Jiang Changkong. Diluted blood? Or a drop? What level was this? How long had it been? It had not dissipated, and he could still extract essence, Qi, and Spirit. Was it processed? Where did it come from? Jiang Changkong looked at the glass bottle with a burning gaze. A medicine made from a drop of diluted blood contained so much essence, Qi, and Spirit. How much essence, Qi, and Spirit could a living being contain? Yang Qinggan pondered and said, "The one who fought with Brother Wang ponged for it in Budokai. The specific origin should be the land of distorted starlight. Sit down and tell me the details." Jiang Changkong hurriedly asked him to sit down. Land of distorted starlight. Pang Yun had said that there were 3 spots for the martial arts exchange, and Budokai had 5 spots. Chapter 101. When the world changed, the starlight fell. There were all kinds of things in the endless starlight. The starlight distorted the space in some areas, and those things were hidden in the distorted land. In the distorted land, normal technological weapons would fail, including the star power bombs. There was no signal on the phone. Once the star power bomb was used, the star power wouldn't explode. Instead, it would dissipate and merge with the distorted space. The strangest thing was that the distorted space didn't look like anything on the surface. But once you went deeper, the space inside was distorted. If you moved in a straight line, you might return to the starting point or go somewhere else. Until now, the Federation had only been researching how to get out and sense each other. The golden blood was one of the treasures produced in the distorted land, and there was a lot of it. Basically, a few drops could be taken out every year. As for the other treasures, unless you were lucky, it was hard to find them. Someone had once obtained something beyond the 6th rank, which caused a sensation in Jianghai and even alerted the overlords of the major provinces. "How much diluted is this drop of blood?" Jiang Changkong asked. Yang Qinggan thought for a moment and said, "I heard that it's at least 10 times. 10 times. Jiang Changkong was breathing heavily. 10 times? If that's the case, 1 drop of blood is worth 20,000? Every year, he would be able to bring out a few drops. Even if it was only 3 drops, it would be 60,000 essence, energy, and spirit points. Is it dangerous inside?" Jiang Changkong asked. Yang Qinggan said, "Some places might hide the star demon, and some places are filled with treasures or traps formed by intertwining star power. But that's nothing for you. The biggest danger in the Gangshui castle is the early stage of the Stargate. Jiang Changkong thought for a moment and asked, Senior, you should know about Budokai. How do we calculate the quota? The top 3 martial arts schools in the 5 cities of Jianghai. Yang Qinggan said, Is there any way to take all 3 spots? Jiang Changkong asked again. Yang Qinggan rolled his eyes. No. After some more discussion, Yang Qinggan left his things behind and left. Jiang Changkong did not refuse the bottle of medicine. He flipped his hand and took out a jade pendant. This was Wang Peng's jade pendant. The space inside wasn't big, only 10 cubic meters. Most of the things inside were clothes, as well as over 100 star stones. 1 piece of early Stargate, 100 pieces of Galaxy Pinnacle, and 20 pieces of high quality. Gangshui Castle had the money. Even if all the big shots in Jiang City pooled their money together, they might not be able to gather enough. Just look at Wang Peng. Currently, the Star Sea Peak Starstone only had 40 essence, chi, and spirit, while high-grade starstones had 30. Including the gold potions, there was a total of 6,600. After some thought, he upgraded the invincible Vajra Divine Art and maxed out the entry points. The astral power in his body surged, and the Stargate swallowed the majestic astral power. The golden Stargate became more solid. His strength had also increased greatly, and his 5 senses had also become a little stronger, but not much. Jiang Changkong, early Stargate, middle rank lower grade martial art, invincible Vajra Divine Art, beginner 5000/5000 Tai Chi mysterious art. Entry January 5000 3 strokes of grace. Entry January 5000 blazing sun art. Entry January 5000 Yuling art. Entry January 5000 essence, energy, spirit. 2. 9:59 after the upgrade. Jiang Changkong stabilized his power and took a shower. The next morning, Chenhua sent him a message. He forgot to tell him yesterday that the Starlight Meteoric Iron had arrived. The school had decided to give him all the Starlight Meteoric Iron. In addition, the school had also prepared some 4th-rank materials for him to forge weapons with the Starlight Meteoric Iron. Jiang Changkong didn't hesitate and contacted Tang Ruashi. He had promised her to forge weapons for him. As a straight-A student in Qixiang, he could forge a 4th-rank weapon with enough materials. You're my brother. Let me know if you need any equipment in the future. Tang Ruashi left with the Starlight Meteoric Iron and the materials. She promised to forge a high-grade 4th-rank weapon for him. He had wanted to treat her to a meal, but she was clearly not normal. After getting the materials, he turned around and left without saying a word. She would definitely be a workaholic in the future. Jiang Changkong muttered in his heart and continued to practice martial arts with Peng Yun. They rested when they were tired. Ji Xiling brought Fong Lin and the others around. They even went to Wu City for a walk. She showed off her and Senior Yinchue's territory. Although it wasn't big, it was their own business. Fong Lin and the others were envious. Jiang Changkong would occasionally log on to the school's network and read a lot of news. Lu Wu died in prison not long after he entered the customs. Zhao Qianjun ruled it a suicide. Zhao Qianjun's case was also spread. The soldiers handed in the evidence, which gave Jiang Changkong another huge credit. Another day passed, and Principal Yu Balin returned. He came to the small house with a smile. Principal. Jiang Changkong hurried out to greet him. Yu Balin stopped smiling and said in a deep voice, Changkong, the matter in Budokai has been settled. You have 2 choices now. Go ahead, Jiang Changkong said politely. 1. Ordinary Budokai. Only level 1 authority is unlocked. You can view and accept starship-level missions. You will receive an additional 1% commission. 2. Level 2 authority is unlocked. You can view and accept missions above Star Chi, but below Star Spirit. You will receive an additional 2% commission. Yu Balin said. Of course, you choose the second option, Jiang Changkong said. I can't do level 2. I'll need the captain to do it. Yu Balin said, then you'll need to pay a price or make some changes. Jiang Changkong said warily, pay what price? As long as it's not starstones or your body, everything can be discussed. Yu Balin's face darkened. Starstones were normal. Body? You've been with women for too long, and you've been contaminated? It's like this. I've talked to the captain, and he has some ideas. If you give the credit to Zhao Qianjun, he'll definitely help you. Moreover, he'll take responsibility for the death of Chu Tianxing from the Chu family. It'll put some pressure on the Chu family. Yu Balin said in a low voice. Jiang Changkong frowned. If you give it to him, he'll definitely succeed? Yu Balin said, definitely. He has a lot of connections. Moreover, the captain promised that if you need anything in the future, he'll definitely do it for you as long as it's within his power. Is the credit so tempting? Jiang Changkong curled his lips. Yu Balin said with a smile. He's the captain, and Zhao Qianjun is his subordinate. He doesn't know people well. Also, the credit for the firearms case was divided. As a captain, he didn't do much. Isn't he anxious? I see. Jiang Changkong suddenly understood. Anyway, it's a change of president. As long as we succeed, it doesn't matter who gets the credit. He didn't know much about the Chu family. If he gave the credit to the captain, it would fall to him. He could buy some time for himself. Good. With your words, it should be done by tomorrow morning. Yu Balin nodded and left. Jiang Changkong sighed inwardly. He had thrown all the credit at once. He hoped that the position of president wouldn't disappoint him. As he continued to train with Pang Yun, Jiang Changkong completely mastered the sense of danger. In battle, he could predict the enemy's movements. Even if someone was spying on him from afar, he would be able to sense it. After a day of training, Jiang Changkong ate and went to sleep. In the morning, Yu Balin woke Jiang Changkong up. The principal was very excited. Holding a small black booklet and a golden plate, she dragged him out of bed. It's done. Wake up, my president, Yu Balin said excitedly. It's done. Jiang Changkong's face lit up with joy as he took the black notebook. President of Jiangxing Budokai, Jiang Changkong. Ordinary Budokai. Authority, Level 2. Give 500 top-tier third-grade star stones to the Federation every year. Redeem them with credit. 3 years of Starstone exemption. This was so generous that 3 years of Starstone exemption. Jiang Changkong was very satisfied. Privilege. Without a special warrant from the Federation, no one has the right to investigate the president of Budokai. Even the Army and the Law Enforcement Bureau can't. If the president endangers his own safety, he can kill the enemy at any time and place. This privilege was not bad. In the future, if anyone provoked him in the city, he could kill them. Federation Budokai official website. He logged in with his ID. The golden token was only half the size of a palm. One side was Jiangsheng, and the other side was the president. There was a red button in the center. I won't disturb you anymore. You can check it first, the principal said excitedly and turned to leave. Jiang Changkong glanced at him. He could still hear the principal muttering, I have Budokai in Jiangxing now, although it's the smallest. Forget it. I'll go to the official website to see if there are any good things. Chapter 102. On the Budokai official website, there were 3 sections: missions, communication, and exchange. Jiang Changkong clicked on the missions section to check the missions. Normal mission, Jianghai Province, 100 miles east of Gangshui Castle. Find a star-level star demon and guard a 5th-grade spirit herb. Obtain spirit herb. Reward points, 3,000. Gangshui Castle, 50 miles north of Gangshui Castle. Starship level special star demon. Sell special star stones to the Federation. Reward points, 800. Gangshui Castle Military. Buy 1,000 star-level low-grade star stones. Reward points, 300. Normal mission. Exterminate the hundreds of star demons that are wreaking havoc in the Water Cloud Mountain. The strongest is at the initial stage of the Star Door. Time limit, 5 months. Reward points. Star stones belong to Budokai. Reward points, 1,000. Small-scale mission. Kill 5,000 star-level star demon. Reward points, 5,000. Time limit, 3 months. Large-scale mission. A small mine near Gangshui Castle. Find the strongest star-level star demon. Other star demons. Time limit, none. Reward points, 30,000. Large-scale mission. Kill 10,000 early-stage Stargate star demon. Reward points, 15,000. Time limit, 5 months. Jiang Chankong clicked on the exchange section. He only had level 2 authority, so he could only look at level 2 items. There were martial arts, medicine, and some technological products. Most of these technological products were auxiliary. There wasn't a single one of them that could kill. Moreover, they were limited to the star spirit level. He then clicked on the communications section. A pop-up window popped up. Insufficient authority. Please upgrade to small-scale Budokai. Upgrade, yes/no? Jiang Chankong. Damn it. I don't even have the authority to speak. No, I don't have the authority to see what people say. Forget it. I'm not the president for the sake of **T. But what's with this upgrade? Jiang Chankong clicked no and clicked into the personal center, where there was an introduction to Budokai. Budokai was divided into normal, small, large, epic, and special. Excluding the guild leader, there were 5 normal Budokai members, and the weakest of them was at the pinnacle of Stargate. This was something he had obtained through his contributions, so he had lowered the requirements a little. Small Budokai, not including the president, there were 50 people. Large Budokai, 100 people. Epic Budokai, unlimited number of players. Special Budokai, Budokai that cooperates with the Federation in private. This was the only explanation that could be used to secretly cooperate with the Federation. It was enough to show how powerful he was. Budokai upgrade method. Please have 10,000 points first. What a fraud. Jiang Chankong almost smashed his computer. Can I not do this? However, when he saw the exchange of points for potions, he decided not to smash the computer and continue working. Among the potions, there was the one that Yang Qingan had given him. One bottle cost 2,000 essence, chi, and spirit. 10,000 points. Number of exchanges, unlimited. Complete missions, earn points, and extract essence, chi, and spirit. Although the points seemed more difficult to obtain, and it was not as good as killing the Star Demon, it was free. He could do the Star Demon mission and wipe out the Star Demon. The Star Stones were his, and he could also get points. The president would reward him with an additional 200 points, and he would get an additional 2 points. 1,000 points would be 20 points, and 10,000 points would be 200 points. If the group took on a mission, the points would be divided equally. If all the members did the missions, and they did a few more missions, the income would be considerable. If they did the missions themselves, there would be an additional commission. Moreover, these missions had to be accepted by the president and given to the members. Only then would they have the authority to accept them. If the president did not accept the mission, the members could only watch and not know. The president had the authority to manage his own Budokai. If there was a scum with evidence, he could be arrested and handed over to the Federation. If necessary, he could be killed. Of course, under normal circumstances, the president would not kill the members. Budokai members had the right to report. If a member reported, the Federation would investigate the president. This is already very good. If there is one type of medicine, there will be a second one. Jiang Chankong pondered. He should pay more attention to the medicine. When he had enough points, Ji Xiling and the rest could exchange for it. He could take a look. He played with the token in his hand and looked at the introduction of the president's token on the official website. Other than being a symbol of identity, the token also had a starlight monitoring device hidden inside. When the red button was pressed, the monitoring device the size of a fly would automatically fly out. This was used to record the mission. After completing the mission, the video had to be uploaded and verified by the Federation. Ordinary members could only get their own monitoring device. Some special missions did not require video. For example, special star stones, elixirs, and so on. Jiang Chankong continued to look at the Budokai website. When members wanted to join, he would send a link to them and let them register. Other than himself, there were 5 people. 2 senior sisters, Peng Yun and Yang Qingan. That would make 4. There was still one more slot left. After thinking about it, he gave it to Tang Ruashi. This top student of Science Yang will be very useful. Even if she did not do missions, she would be of great help in forging weapons and processing star stones in the future. He just did not know if Tang Ruashi would agree. She was still forging weapons and did not reply for the time being. The 2 senior sisters, Ji Xiling, immediately started to register. Yang Qingan and Peng Yun also started to register. However, they had to cancel the Budokai Gangshui castle first. They could directly cancel it on the official website. It was convenient. After sending the link, Jiang Changkong was not surprised that Fong Lin and Li Shuiyun did not join. Instead, he felt a little lucky. Fortunately, they did not agree. Otherwise, there would not be enough slots. Ordinary members did not have a book. They only needed to register. Jiang Changkong continued to look at the missions. He created a science internet group and added them in. There were many missions that he liked, but they were all small or large Budokai. There were relatively few ordinary missions that he liked. Killing the star demon at Empty Water Cloud was one of them. Until noon, he picked out a few missions. They were all killing the star demon near Gangshui Castle. There were no missions in River Town at all. He was about to go to the canteen to get food when Shun Jiangxing called. He asked him to eat at Xingyi Hotel. The two senior sisters and Fong Lin were hanging around elsewhere. He could only go by himself. He became the undisputed #1 master of Rivertown and Stargate. Entering the private room of Xingyi Hotel, an unfamiliar middle-aged man greeted him. Changkong, it's an honor to meet you. This is? Jiang Changkong looked at the middle-aged man in surprise and then at the others. Shun Jiangxing, Liang Zhe, and Chen Huai were all there. This is the Major, Jiang Haichuan. Chen Huai explained. Jiang Changkong immediately cupped his fists. So it's the Major. Nice to meet you. There's no need to be so polite. Take a seat. Thank you very much. Jiang Haichuan invited him to sit and smiled. I organized this meal. From now on in Rivertown, Brother Jiang is my younger brother. Jiang Changkong, am I considered the second in Rivertown? The Major of Rivertown was definitely the top dog. I still have to thank the Major for your help this time. That's how I managed to establish Budokai. Jiang Changkong thanked him. Everyone laughed. Now it's time to call you Chiang Kai-sheng. You have a bright future. If you can upgrade Budokai to a large one, your status will be no lower than a small commander in a large province. Chen Huai said, Brother Jiang, do you have any thoughts about Starlight Distorted Land as the president? Of course. I will go to the martial arts conference, Jiang Changkong said. Jiang Haichuan smiled faintly. I'm talking about Budokai. Huh? Jiang Changkong was taken aback. 5 places? Yes. 5 places are for Jianghai Budokai, not just for Gangshui Castle. All this time, only Rivertown has Budokai. That's why they've occupied all of it. Jiang Haichuan said in a low voice, I'm just saying, if you can fight, fight. If you can't, fight when you can. That's right. Martial arts resources are all fought for. If you don't fight, who cares if you live or die? Shun Jiangxing interrupted. Chapter 103. After the meal, Jiang Haichuan made an appointment to continue eating in the evening. Jiang Changkong had nothing to do recently, so he ate, drank, and made some connections. Just like that, he spent every day eating and drinking. On the 5th day, Jiang Haichuan had to leave due to official business. Liang Zhe and the others also left to tend to their own businesses. On the 3rd day, Fong Lin and the others left, followed by Peng Yun. Only Yang Qinggan did not leave. He was originally from Rivertown, so he planned to stay for a while. Tang Ruashi came and went straight into the hut he was in. Ji Xiling was admiring the book. When she saw her, she quickly stood up. Babe Ruashi, Babe Xiling, do you want to know armor-making knowledge or weapon-making knowledge? Tang Ruashi was all smiles. Ji Xiling was speechless. No more love. Senior Ruashi. Jiang Changkong walked out of his room. Is the weapon ready? Yes, it's at the peak of the 4th rank. Tang Ruashi took out a golden hilt and handed it to him. Jiang Changkong infused his astral power and the blade popped out. The pale golden blade was carved with many patterns. There was a dragon pattern on the hilt and a flame symbol. There were 2 small words on the blade. Changkong. Thank you, Senior Ruashi. Are you willing to join Budokai? Jiang Changkong took the long blade and asked. Tang Ruashi said, Of course I'm willing. I've already registered. I saw the mission you sent in the group. But I can't do the mission. I'll be leaving Rivertown in half a month. Ji Xiling quickly asked, Where are you going? Didn't I say it before? assistant professor at the Scientific Research Institute of the Federation in Anding Province. Tang Ruashi smiled. The school spent a lot of effort to find it for me. So soon? I can't bear to. Jiang Changkong was very reluctant. This was a talent, and he still wanted to poach him. I'm also very reluctant to part with you, but there's no other way. For the sake of living, and for the sake of knowledge. Tang Ruashi said helplessly, one day, when you become a big shot in the Federation, invest in a research institute for me. I will definitely come over. Jiang Changkong's heart skipped a beat. Really? Tang Ruashi said. Really? I still owe you a favor. Besides, if possible, who would want to go to another province to suffer? All right, it's settled then. It won't be long before I poach you over. Jiang Changkong said with certainty. If you really become a big shot, I'll bring you a team. All right, I'll take my leave first. Tang Ruashi waved her hand and turned to leave. Bring a team over? I'm just afraid that your team won't be enough. Ji Xiling glanced at him with an unfriendly gaze. Little Changkong, you've gone too far. What's wrong? Jiang Changkong was startled. It's said that one shouldn't bully a brother's wife. We're brothers, but you actually want to steal Ruashi from me, Ji Xiling said angrily. Jiang Changkong, why do you think that I'm as filthy as you? You're thinking too much. What I value is her talent, Jiang Changkong said seriously. Ji Xiling said with dissatisfaction. So, you want to steal her? No. I want a team to help me process the star stones in the future. Jiang Changkong explained with a headache. After I leave the university, I'll have to pay for the processing of the star stones. So be it. I don't care about the commission. Wait, you want a team to process the star stones for you? Ji Xiling's eyes widened. How many star stones are you planning to get? One team is not enough, Jiang Changkong said in a deep voice. One team is not enough? Is your brain damaged? Jiang Changkong said seriously. Senior, I have a small goal. I want to build a city first. Ji Xiling. Small goal? Build a city first? Your big goal? How many do you plan to build? She suddenly remembered the last gathering. Tang Ruashi wanted to go to Anding Province. She was going there now. When they talked about Jiang Changkong, she asked him to go to a big province and get credit for building a city. This guy changed the topic at that time not because he wasn't interested, but because he wanted to build it himself. Ji Xiling frowned. You know how to manage? Development? Do you know where the veins are? There are small veins on Budokai's official website, although it's not enough to support the development of the city. But as Budokai levels up, there will be news about medium veins or even large veins. Jiang Changkong said seriously, as for management, isn't there a lot of talented people in Jiangchen? Talented people in Jiangchen? Ji Xiling was stunned. Captains Jiang Chuan, Shun Jiangxing, Liang Zhe, and Principal Yu Bailin. Jiang Changkong smiled. If a new city is built, who will refuse a huge cake? If they don't go, how can I sell it to them? This was also the reason why he went to dinner parties. If he was like the other geniuses, he wouldn't need to make friends with these people. If he wanted to build a city, he would need manpower, materials, and troops. His old acquaintances in Jiangcheng were obviously more reliable. Moreover, after the city was built, the profits would be huge. Processing star stones was free and fast. Plus, he would get a share of the taxes collected by the city. If the city developed well, there would be all kinds of gifts. He would also get a share of the good stuff that the Federation distributed to each city every year. For example, the Starlight Meteoric Iron this time. When the time came, he could give it to whoever he wanted. Once he reached an agreement with the martial arts school, he would be able to get the processed star stones no matter where he went. Once it was done, he could exchange unprocessed star stones for processed ones and directly extract essence, chi, and spirit. Also, he could sell such a large piece of land for star stones. In the future, he would need more and more star stones to level up. If he relied on himself to kill, how long would it take for him to level up? You've thought of all this, but who will be crazy with you? You want to count on the people of Jiangcheng to help you conquer a piece of land and become king? Ji Xiling frowned. No need. I can do it myself, Jiang Changkong said calmly. I can open a city by myself. It's enough. Ji Xiling. Open a city by yourself? Are you crazy? Forget it. I won't talk to you anymore. As long as you don't fight with me, for Ruashi. Ji Xiling saw that she couldn't persuade him, so she stopped talking. What about you, senior sister? I haven't asked you. Are you also from Gangshui Castle? Jiang Chongkong asked. Yes. I couldn't survive in Gangshui Castle, so I transferred to another school. Ji Xiling shrugged and said calmly, many people are like that. They can't survive in big places, so they can only look for small places. Jiang Chongkong asked, what's your plan for the future? Will you be assigned to another province? When you finish building the city, give me a piece of land, Ji Xiling said with narrowed eyes. Okay, I'll give you a big piece of land, Jiang Chongkong said with a smile. Ji Xiling chuckled and said, the martial arts exchange meet will be held in a month. You should get ready too. I want to leave first, Jiang Chongkong said, holding the saber. Leave first. Ji Xiling raised her eyebrows. I accepted the mission to eliminate the star demon of Cloudwater Mountain. I won't bid farewell to the principal. I'll leave later. Jiang Chongkong turned on his phone and logged into Budokai's official website. He had already gotten his weapon and built a good relationship. There was no point in staying in Jiangxing anymore. Ji Xiling's expression froze. Be careful. Wang Peng must have contacted someone to deal with you. I'll be careful. See you in Gangshui Castle. Jiang Chongkong went back to his room to pack up after he finished speaking. Ji Xiling went to Senior Yinshue's place to get some jerky for him. Hearing that he was leaving, Yang Qinggan came over. Together? You go with them? I'll leave first, Jiang Chongkong said. Jiang Chongkong paused for a moment before continuing. Senior Qinggan, help me take care of junior brother Li Qiuchuan for the next few days. The object manipulation technique was very powerful. He asked Yang Qinggan to take care of him on his behalf. Yang Qinggan nodded. Be careful. Jiang Chongkong carried 3 backpacks and left the school. 1 backpack, clothes, 1 water, and 1 food. After leaving the city, he threw the backpack into the hidden star ring and the jade pendant. He planned to walk to Cloudwater Mountain. With the map navigation on his phone, he did not have to worry about getting lost. The navigation also indicated the strength of the star demon along the way. He chose the safest route, the strongest peak of Stargate. 1 month was enough for him to complete the mission and rush to Gangshui Castle. Chapter 104. He left Jiang City. Jiang Chongkong slaughtered along the way. Under the control of the object manipulation art, the long sword flew by itself. The Cosmic Cloud State Star Demon was incinerated, leaving behind only star stones. He stored them in the Space Jade Pendant. These didn't have any essence chi. It would be a waste to throw them away. He could also trade them for some money or level 3-star stones. If 10-1 didn't work, then he would trade them for 10-1. The star demons in the Starry Sea first extracted their essence, chi, and spirit before burning them. As the Scorching Flame art evolved to Scorching Sun art, its flame power had increased by countless times. The temperature was terrifying. It was like a small sun when it was fully unleashed. Stunning sword with mystic yang blade. Tai Chi painting with object manipulation art. Universe grand shift. Some star demon that charged at him died in his hands. It looked like suicide. Jiang Chongkong's speed was very fast. He executed the mystic yang step and walked on the sun. Roar. Roars resounded as all of them turned into ashes. Protecting the environment was everyone's responsibility. The smelly corpses weren't left behind. A day later, Jiang Chongkong was far away from Jiang City. He only obtained 200 essence chi. According to my speed, I should be able to reach Mountain Water Cloud in about 8 days. Jiang Chongkong looked at the time and decided to travel through the night. The strongest star demon was only at the peak of Stargate. He could deal with it. The star demon appeared more often at night, so he could obtain more essence chi. After making his decision, Jiang Chongkong continued on his way. Not long after, Jiang Chongkong encountered the Galaxy Star Demon team. They were in the middle phase of the Galaxy Sea realm. With a wave of his hand, a sword ray flashed. It was so fast that it was almost invisible. The stunning sword instantly annihilated the Star Demon team, extracting essence, chi, and spirit, burning them to ashes. The harvest at night was more abundant. There were more than 400 essence chi. It was almost twice as much as during the day. Jiang Chongkong decided to travel at night and rest for a few hours during the day before continuing his journey. This way, they would be able to save time on the road. They would be able to reach MT Water Cloud in about 5 days. Every day, he could steadily accumulate more than 600 points of essence, chi, and spirit. 3,000 points in 5 days, plus the previous 2,900 points on the 4th day, it would be enough for him to upgrade another martial art. For 4 consecutive days, Jiang Chongkong had gathered enough essence, chi, and spirit to fully master the entry level of the Tai Chi mysterious art. As the Tai Chi mysterious art leveled up, the stargate in his body spat out majestic star power, and the stargate became more solid. The Taiji Chi circulated in Xiao Chen's body, nourishing his internal organs and strengthening his physique. When he looked inside himself, he could see some incomplete golden lines hidden in his flesh. All he had to do was wait for his invincible Vajra divine art to reach perfection and form the power pattern. After cultivating for a while and stabilizing his cultivation, Jiang Chongkong looked at the map. The Cloudwater Mountain was approaching, but unfortunately, they did not encounter the Star Demon at the peak of Stargate. He still wanted to practice on the Star Demon. Looking at the sky, Zhang Xian realized that it was almost noon. He took out some jerky and was about to leave when he suddenly stopped in his tracks. His ears trembled, and a weak voice came from afar. "I am from the Qingyun Demon Hunters. If you know what's good for you, hand over your valuables." The Blue Cloud Hunters? That captain is from the initial Stargate team? The voice was filled with fear. "Kid, since you know, I will not waste any more time. The rule of the underworld is that you will not be killed if you hand over the money. Junior brothers, you have just arrived at Gangshui Castle, so you don't know about this. The Blue Cloud Hunters are ferocious and cannot be provoked. Hurry up and hand over your valuables to them. They are very trustworthy and will not kill you if you get the items." The voice continued. "The route is a little off, but it's time to go and take a look." Jiang Chongkong closed his eyes and listened for a moment. After confirming the direction, he started walking. The voice continued to sound in his ears, but it was filled with panic. "Senior, Gangshui Castle. Are we not going to deal with them? Senior, we don't have money. You also know that Jianyun City is a small place. Junior, dealing with them is the business of the big shots of Gangshui Castle. How can I interfere? It's my fault. I shouldn't have brought you out today. I only have these star stones with me. These star stones are only enough to buy your life. Those kids don't have star stones. Don't you still have weapons?" The Blue Cloud Hunters, 3 burly men, looked at them fiercely. The 3 of them were all at the peak of Star Sea Realm and were very strong. The targets of their robbery were 5 students. One of them was a student from Gangshui Castle at the early stage of Star Sea Realm. The other 4 were from Jianyun City and were only at the peak of Star Cloud Peak. These weapons were given by the school. "We can't. Junior brothers, at this time, your life is more important," the Gangshui Castle student said anxiously. "Kid, you have seen through everything. What are you hesitating for?" The 3 men sneered. The 4 of them were panicking. They were geniuses in Jianyun City and had never encountered such a situation. The 3 men were at the peak of Star Sea Realm. Coupled with the words of their senior from Gangshui Castle, they were completely confused. Wee boom! Suddenly, a saber aura pierced through the air. The powerful star force spread in all directions. Dust flew everywhere. The nearby weeds could not withstand the impact and turned into powder. The 3 men at the peak of Star Sea Realm looked serious. Fortunately, the star force was not very strong and did not affect them. Who dares to interfere in the affairs of Blue Cloud Hunters? The 3 men's faces turned cold and shouted coldly. "How much money are you going to spend to buy your lives?" The weeds not far away swayed. Jiang Chongkong walked out slowly with a long saber in his right hand. Where did this kid come from? The 3 men's eyes were cold. Although they could not see through Jiang Chongkong, they were not afraid. There were many things that could hide the Star Force. He was so young and could not be too strong. Jiang Chongkong didn't bother with them. He looked at the students of Riverwater City and said, "This show is pretty good. Are you in cahoots with them?" "Senior." The four men's faces changed. They looked at the student from Gangshui Castle in fear. "What nonsense are you talking about? How can I be with them?" The student from Gangshui Castle said angrily, "If you're not with them, why are you in such a hurry to get them to hand over their things? Since when did the student from Gangshui Castle become so cowardly? Do you dare to let me see your phone records?" Zhang Changkong said coldly. The student from Gangshui Castle said unnaturally, "Who do you think you are? Why should I let you see it?" "Feeling guilty?" Zhang Changkong said indifferently. As soon as he finished his words, there was a sound of wind breaking. A sense of danger came from above. A burly man gathered his star force and slashed at Zhang Changkong's head with a broadsword. "I wanted to spare your lives. Now all of you will die." "Brother, be careful," the four students from Jiang Yunqing Castle shouted at the same time. Zhang Changkong's eyes were still fixed on the student from Gangshui Castle. He did not dodge the broadsword, as if he did not see it. "So it's just for show." The burly man was overjoyed and increased his strength. Clang! The broadsword fell steadily, but it was as if it had hit a hard alloy. There was a huge counterforce. The broadsword flew out of the burly man's hand. He took several steps back and said in shock, "How is this possible? You still can't recognize me. It seems that you don't take me seriously. You can't even recognize me, the president." Zhang Changkong said coldly. Then a saber light flashed, looking like the rising sun. There was no horrifying heat, only a gentle warmth. One broadsword split into three, and in an instant, the throats of three people were slashed. A burning smell came. The warm light disappeared, and everything returned to normal. The three people at the pinnacle of Star Sea Realm collapsed. Dead. The five students were shocked. Three people at the pinnacle of Star Sea Realm died in one move. The president of Budokai. This is the president of Gangshui Castle Budokai, the pinnacle of Stargate. What do you want?" The student from Gangshui Castle stepped back in fear because Zhang Changkong was looking at him. "What's your name?" Zhang Changkong asked. The student from Gangshui Castle gulped. Chu Ming. "May I know your name, brother? I don't think you're the president of Gangshui Castle Budokai." A smile appeared on Zhang Changkong's face. "I'm Zhang Changkong." Chu Ming's expression changed. "Zhang Changkong." The light of the broadsword flashed, and another corpse appeared. The Chu family was really a nest. There was no need to ask. Chapter 105. You guys can go back. Zhang Changkong looked at the four students and waved his hand. Zhang Changkong didn't feel that he was in trouble after killing four people. Jiang Chuan and the rest of the Blue Cloud Hunters knew that the Chu family wouldn't dare to cause trouble. "Thank you, Chiang Kai-sheng. When we return to Gangshui Castle, we will definitely thank Chiang Kai-sheng for his kindness." "How can we contact each other?" the four students asked. "We will meet again if we are fated." Zhang Changkong threw down a sentence and turned to leave. The reason why he came was purely to kill the three Blue Cloud Hunters. Saving them was just a matter of convenience. After they left, he came back and extracted the essence of the four bodies before burning them. Then, he continued on his way to Shuiyun Mountain. He didn't stop until evening. Shuiyun Mountain was already in sight. Beside Shuiyun Mountain was the Jianshui River. The river was huge and flowed into the sea. There were countless star demon in it. Gangshui Castle was named after this river. Zhanghai Province was also named after Zhanghai because the river flowed into the sea. The five cities of Zhanghai, Jiangshui, Jiangcheng, Jiangyun, Jiangtian, and Jiangbei were all named after this river. Zhang Changkong sat on the bank and recovered his astral power. After 2 hours, his astral power was back to its peak. He took out some jerky and ate some before continuing on his way. Shuiyun Mountain was next to the Jianshui River. Most of the star demons that were wreaking havoc on the mountain came from the river. When he reached the foot of the mountain, he didn't stop and continued climbing. In the night, the roars of the star demon kept ringing. A strong smell of blood came. A few minutes later, Zhang Changkong saw a few star demon corpses. It hasn't been long since they died. It's a pity that they are only rank 2. Jiang Changkong didn't stop and continued climbing. He didn't mind that there were people here. It was impossible for him to be the only one accepting the mission. Gangshui Castle still had Budokai. With his eyes closed and ears twitching, Jiang Changkong carefully sensed the sound around him. The sound of the wind, the distant cry of the star demon, and the sounds of fighting all entered his ears. Jiang Changkong leaped into the air like a nimble bird. After a few leaps, he arrived at the battlefield. 3 young men, 2 with short hair and 1 with long hair, were all in the early stages of Stargate. They were fighting among the Star Demon group. The starlight was dazzling, and the light shone through the darkness. The sword light swept past, and the Star Demon quickly died. However, there were just too many Star Demon. Although they killed them quickly, they were not as fast as the Star Demon. I really don't understand why you would accept this stupid mission, a short-haired man said. His face was full of pockmarks. That's right. These Star Demon almost all came from the river. It's impossible to clear them all. Another short-haired man also said gloomily. It wasn't that Gangshui Castle didn't clear this place before. It was just that after it was cleared, it was occupied by the Star Demon again. They couldn't understand why the Federation kept giving out this mission. The long-haired man said calmly, Gangshui Castle only has these missions. Could it be that you want to accept a small-scale mission? The 3 of them chatted as they killed the Star Demon. The pockmarked man glanced at Jiang Changkong. There's someone here. He came to Mountain Watercloud at this time. Did he also accept a mission? He's unfamiliar. He shouldn't be from Gangshui Castle Budokai, the long-haired man said. He then asked, Brother, where are you from? River Town, Jiang Changkong. I'm here for a mission, Jiang Changkong replied. So, you're from River Town? The pockmarked man was delighted. He said, Come here. Let's do this mission together. I'll give you 100 points. Kaiyun, you're too much. The long-haired man frowned. Gee, it's not your turn to be kind. Another short-haired man snorted and glared at the long-haired man. 100? Jiang Changkong frowned. The mission reward was 1,000 points. Only the 3 of them, including the 4 of them, would get 100 points? Then each of them would get 300 points? Too little? That's the price in Rivertown. If you don't do it, you'll suffer when you get back. The pockmarked man sneered. Let's rely on our capabilities. Whoever kills more will complete the mission, Jiang Changkong said indifferently. They weren't from Budokai. If he killed more, he would be the one to complete the mission. Are the people from Rivertown so arrogant? The pockmarked man's expression was gloomy. Get over here now. If not, there won't be a place for you in Gangshui Castle. Even your fellow townsmen will be hospitalized. Let me tell you, what's the price for the people from Rivertown? Jiang Changkong's expression was indifferent. One couldn't tell if he was happy or angry. He took a step forward and entered the group of Star Demon. Roar! The Star Demon didn't care about Jiang Changkong's intrusion. It pounced on him. Kid, you know your place. The pockmarked man sneered. He looked satisfied. The people from Rivertown have been beaten up. No, there's something wrong with this kid. The short-haired man sneered. The next moment, he looked terrified. The Star Demon that got close to him is committing suicide. Committing suicide? The pockmarked man was stunned. He looked over. Before a Star Demon could touch Jiang Changkong, it turned its sharp claws and pierced its neck. What's going on? The long-haired man was shocked. If there was only one Star Demon, it would be fine. However, all the Star Demon that got close to Jiang Changkong committed suicide. Dying from its own sharp claws and astral power was no different from suicide. Jiang Changkong walked with his hands behind his back. He walked slowly. Astral power fluctuated. The Star Demon fell to the ground. In just a minute, Jiang Changkong had already reached the 3 of them. Now, tell me, what's the price in Rivertown? Jiang Changkong looked at the pockmarked man calmly. The pockmarked man opened his mouth, but couldn't speak. Kid, it's Kaiyun's fault. Let's just forget about it, the short-haired man said. Forget it. I won't argue with you. The pockmarked man regained his rationality and said magnanimously. Jiang Changkong snickered. A strong wave of astral power forced the Star Demon back. 1 slash. If you don't die, forget it. The pockmarked man's expression darkened. Don't be too arrogant. You might be strange, but you're only at the early stage of Stargate. You're about the same as me. Brother, I think it's fine. It won't be good for the geniuses of Rivertown if this goes on, the long-haired man advised. The three of you can take it at the same time. Jiang Changkong didn't back down. All right, Rivertown really has someone special. Let's see if your slash can kill all three of us. The pockmarked man snorted. His astral power surged, and sword aura pulsed. He decisively chose to take it at the same time. Jiang Changkong was too strange. He didn't dare to be careless. If he took the slash alone, he might be killed. Jiang Changkong raised his palm and gathered his astral energy. A Taiji diagram formed and expanded rapidly. The huge Taiji diagram surrounded the four of them. At the same time, it forced back all the star demons, making space. The three of them couldn't help but gasp. Was this the early stage of Stargate? Clang! A loud sound was heard. The golden handle flew out, and the blade bounced out. Red light blossomed like the sunset glow. The three of them felt a pressure they had never felt before. Astral power surged out. The stars shone brightly and tore the night sky apart. 3 rays of sword aura intertwined, and the Tai Chi symbol started to vibrate. One slash, sunset. Jiang Changkong placed his hands behind his back, and the sunset glow blade fell from the sky. Kill! The three of them roared and slashed out 3 rays of sword aura at the same time. Boom! The sunset blade was like the sun in the evening. The sunset glow was like fire, and blood was like the sunset glow. A smear of blood engulfed the sword aura. No one knew if it was the sunset glow or the blood. Plop! The powerful blade, Chi suppressed the three of them, and they knelt down at the same time. Smoke and dust billowed, and their perlicues were torn. Blood flowed out. Now, tell me again, what's the prize for the people of Rivertown? Jiang Changkong stepped in front of the three of them and looked down at the pockmarked man. Chapter 106. The 3 people kneeling on the ground were silent. Their faces were flushed red. Humiliation. He was humiliating them. However, the person in front of them was too strong. He was so strong that the 3 of them could barely take 1 slash. Although they were resentful, they did not dare to show it on their faces. The pockmarked-faced man's voice trembled. 1 slash has passed. You guys can leave. You stay. Jiang Changkong looked at the long-haired youth. Let's go. The pockmarked-faced man and the other short-haired youth did not hesitate. They got up and left. The long-haired youth was furious, but there was nothing he could do. The 2 of them did not even look at him and left. They jumped out of the Star Demon group and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Jiang Changkong said calmly, Your surname is Ji? What's your name? It was this long-haired youth who had a good attitude and wanted to stop them. Unfortunately, he was not doing well, and his status was not high. His surname was also Ji. Could he be a relative or friend of Ji Xiling? Ji Xiling's home was in Gangshui Castle. The long-haired youth was silent for a moment and said, Ji Zifeng. Ji Zifeng. Who is Ji Xiling to you? Jiang Changkong asked. She's my little sister. Do you know her? Ji Zifeng frowned. Jiang Changkong thought for a moment and took out his phone to call the female senior. She picked up immediately. Little Changkong, do you miss me? As long as you learn the Sunflower Manual, I'll be your boyfriend. Jiang Changkong, why are you thinking about this in the middle of the night? Jiang Changkong rubbed his forehead and sighed. Do you know Ji Zifeng? Yes. My brother. Did you offend him? He even dared to touch my junior. Give him the phone. I'll scold him to death, Ji Xiling said angrily. No, I'm just asking. After hanging up, Jiang Changkong looked at Ji Zifeng strangely. Was Ji Zifeng afraid of his sister? However, having a younger sister who held the Sunflower Manual all day and looked for others to cultivate with was indeed scary. Jiang Changkong could not help but sympathize with this guy. His friend had abandoned him and ran away, but his sister was still acting strangely. But it's sad. Ji Zifeng was at a loss. What was going on? The person in front of him was his younger sister's junior? From the looks of it, they have a good relationship. That abnormal sister of his actually had a male friend who was on good terms with her. He could not help but glance at Jiang Changkong's lower body. It was gratifying, but pitiful. Ahem. Zhang Changkong coughed softly and said, "Since we are acquaintances, let's stand up and talk." When the pressure dissipated, Ji Zifeng stood up with a strange expression on his face. Zhang Changkong continued, "Now that the mission here belongs to me, do me another favor." "What's the favor?" Ji Zifeng frowned slightly. "Chairman of Gangshui Castle's Budokai, what's your name?" Zhang Changkong asked. "Chu Yunhe, Stargate's Peak," Ji Zifeng said. Zhang Changkong said, "Help me tell him that I want the spot for the distorted Starlight Land. Let's set up a place to have a match." "The spot for the distorted Starlight Land? The chairman can distribute it directly." "He won't agree. Besides, isn't it more convenient for you to look for him yourself?" Ji Zifeng was puzzled. "Because I am the chairman of Rivertown's Budokai. Jianghai now has 2 Budokai. The spots cannot be monopolized by Gangshui Castle." Zhang Changkong said coldly. "Ji Zifeng, Rivertown's Budokai? Although you are strong, you seem to be at the early stage of Stargate. How did you establish Budokai? Or the chairman?" "Just tell me past the message," Zhang Changkong said. "Fine. But even if I don't say it, Zhang Kaiyun and the others won't let you and the people of Rivertown off." Ji Zifeng sighed. "Do you really think you could take my attack?" Zhang Changkong raised his right hand, and a red flame flew out from Ji Zifeng's body and into his palm. Ji Zifeng's expression changed. They can't pass the message. You should go." Zhang Changkong waved his hand. Ji Zifeng was shocked. He opened his mouth, but couldn't say anything. He heaved a sigh and left. He dashed out of the Star Demon group and went straight to the foot of the mountain. Not long after, 2 blood-curdling screams were heard. Red flames danced in the night sky like blood. The 2 men on fire summoned their astral powers, but couldn't suppress the flames. Ji Zifeng didn't save them. They had abandoned him, and he couldn't suppress the flames either. If Zhang Changkong hadn't retracted the flames, he wouldn't have noticed. Black and white intertwined, and a vast Taiji diagram was expanding. The Star Demon roared and started to kill each other or commit suicide within the range of the Tai Chi diagram. The long blade was fast, and there was a flame hidden in it. Zhang Changkong didn't inject the flames into the Star Demon's body to burn it. Many of the Star Demon were at the Star Wave level. After the Star Demon died, Zhang Changkong extracted his energy and didn't rush to add points. The Tai Chi diagram expanded until it was 8 meters in diameter. That was the limit of what Zhang Changkong could do. Any more, and it would be unstable. Besides, the Yuling art hadn't caught up yet. He could deal with a dozen Star Demons at a time, but any more, and there would be deviations. After using it for days, the Yuling art had become more and more important in his mind. He was looking forward to upgrading the Yuling art to the legendary sword manipulation art in the future. By then, he could ride on his blade and kill enemies from 1,000 miles away, but he should be able to do it from a few thousand miles away. Besides, the Yuling art had perfect control over the flames formed by the blazing sun art. The flames danced on his fingertips like small snakes. The Star Demon's corpse, which had its essence, chi, and spirit extracted, was burned. The Star Demon roared and charged at Chen Fan, not fearing death. Zhang Changkong didn't move. He swung his blade and used the Tai Chi diagram and the Yuling art to shift his energy. Groups of Star Demons fell. On Cloud Water Mountain, Zhang Changkong quickly killed the Star Demon. His energy was also increasing rapidly. A few hours later, the mountain was empty except for a few Star Demons running for their lives. One of them was an early-stage Stargate Star Demon. Zhang Changkong naturally wouldn't let it escape. His blade sliced through the air and instantly pierced through the Stargate Star Demon's body. After doing this, Zhang Changkong dealt with the rest of the Star Demon and dug out the Stargate Star Demon Starstone. Essence, spirit, and energy, 100 points, unable to be extracted. Looking at the information on the Starstone, Zhang Changkong kept it. The corpse only had 20 points of essence, spirit, and energy. He couldn't be bothered to extract it. There were many Star Demons on Cloud Water Mountain. They provided him with more than 2,000 points of essence, spirit, and energy. Including the previous ones, he had more than 3,000 points. Looking at the surveillance footage, Zhang Changkong carried the Stargate Star Demon's corpse and went down Cloudwater Mountain. When he arrived at the river, he let the Stargate Star Demon bleed and stood beside the corpse. Walala! Not long after, the river water rippled. Star demons were lured by the blood and climbed out of the river. Their strength is not bad. Jiang Changkong looked at the star demons that crawled out. There were a few from the Star Sea. Tonight, he would kill 5,000 and upgrade the Yuling chant. The star demon fell one after another. Now that there was a cosmic cloud state star demon, he couldn't even be bothered to dig for star stones. A 10 cubic meter jade pendant was almost full. He really wasn't interested in it. Now that the blood from the corpse dyed the river red, it attracted more star demon. For a moment, the river was dyed red. The area within a few hundred meters was filled with blood. The star demon grew stronger one after another. In the end, almost all of them were cosmic sea states. There were also Stargate Star Demon. Jiang Changkong was excited, but he also felt serious. If a cosmic cloud state appeared, he might not be able to beat it. Chapter 107. In the morning, Ji Zifeng walked out of the hotel and rubbed his face. It still felt unreal. My sister's junior is the chairman of Budokai. And all three of them were on their knees. He's strong enough to be my senior. He went straight to the hotel to sleep when he came back last night. He was not in a hurry to report. After checking the time, he dialed Chu Yuna's number. Mission accomplished? Chu Yuna's voice was cold. I want to file a complaint. Zhang Kaiyun and the others abandoned me and ran away. Ji Zifeng said angrily. Huh? What's going on? Chu Yuna sounded more serious. Ji Zifeng thought for a moment and said, Here's what happened. I met someone last night. He told them everything in detail, but did not say that the two of them were dead. Chu Yuna's voice was cold. Why did you only inform me now? Chairman of Budokai? It was Jiang Changkong again. Challenging him to a battle? Does he deserve it? I was looking for Zhang Kaiyun and the others last night. Chairman, I hope you can hand them over to me. Beep, beep. Damn it. Ji Zifeng looked at the phone that had been hung up and almost exploded. I can't afford to offend you. Don't give me a chance, or I'll destroy the Chu family. While cursing in his heart, Ji Zifeng sent a message to Jiang Changkong. He had already conveyed the message. When Jiang Changkong received the message, he was still killing the star demon. He was excited because there were more and more star sea-level star demon being nurtured. 5,000 essence, energy, and spirit. Without any hesitation, he leveled up the Yuling chant. Jiang Changkong's astral power became stronger after he maxed out the Yuling chant. Looking at the Stargate level star demon in the blood-red river, Jiang Changkong reluctantly stopped. I can't be too greedy. There must be a hidden star demon in the river. I'll make a move first. He left the river and found a place to sit down to recover his astral power. 2 hours later, his star power was completely restored. He opened the official website of Budokai and contacted the official customer service. Budokai Official Customer Service 004. At your service, esteemed President. What can I do for you? Cloudwater Mountain Star Demon mission completed. I even killed a few more. The video is in the surveillance camera. Jiang Changkong said. With the president's approval, the other party could directly retrieve his video or send it over himself. Jiang Changkong just asked him to retrieve it. He was too lazy to send it. Please wait a moment. Official Customer Service 004 sent a message and went to retrieve the video. Not long after, a message came in. You have completed the mission above expectations. You have been rewarded with an additional 200 points. Total points, 1220. Released. After receiving the points, Jiang Changkong was not in a hurry to hang up. He asked again, Jianghai Province's Starlight Twisted Land. Budokai has 5 spots. How many can I get? The spots for the Starlight Twisted Land are for Budokai, not for a certain Budokai. You can decide how to distribute them, Customer Service 004 said. Thank you. Jiang Changkong hung up after thanking him. Although he was prepared to fight for it, he still had to clarify things. The spots were for Budokai, not for a certain person. In other words, if he had the ability, he would be able to get all 5 of the spots. After asking, Jiang Changkong lay on the ground and began to rest. There were no powerful star demon nearby. He could sleep without worry. Even if the star demon came, it would not be able to bite him. Jiang Changkong slept all the way until the evening. Before he could open his eyes, he heard the faint sound of a conversation. Senior, aren't the people of Jiangshui City bullying us too much? If we had known this, we would have waited until the conference started like the people of Jiangsheng. A voice full of resentment was heard. Who asked them to be so strong? Although there are laws, the strong are still respected. A sigh was heard, full of helplessness. But senior, the one who bullied us was only at the peak of Nebula Peak. You are a Star Sea overlord. Overlord? In this Gangshui castle, even Stargate can't be called an overlord. Xingzong is the real overlord. The senior sighed. As for that peak of Nebula Peak, although he has no strength, he has a backer. The juniors fell silent. Without strength, they had to find a backer. If they couldn't find one, they could only be cowards. When they were in their hometown, the Star Sea level seniors were so high-spirited, but they were bullied here by a Nebula Peak. This was just a provincial capital of a small province. If it was an ordinary province or a big province, the gap would be even greater. Okay, stop talking. We still have to prepare star stones to show our respect to them. The senior said bitterly. We really shouldn't have come. I don't know why the school agreed to come earlier, the junior said unhappily. If we don't come, we will have a harder time in the future. The people of Jiangsheng didn't agree to come earlier this time. They will suffer in the future. The senior shook his head and said, in fact, they won't let go of the students of Jiangsheng during the martial arts conference. Really? Jiang Changkong stepped forward and looked at the three young men with a cold expression. We are all from a martial arts school, but the Gangshui Castle Martial Arts School bullied us like this? One of the three young men was at the late-stage Star Sea realm, while the other two were at the early-stage Star Sea realm. You are? The three young men were startled. They didn't even notice that there was someone nearby. Jiang Changkong. Jiang Changkong said faintly. You are Jiang Changkong? The president of Jiangxing Budokai? The late-stage Star Sea realm youth said, in surprise. Jiang Changkong was slightly surprised. You know me? Was he already so famous? I heard from Budokai that because of you, Peng Yun and Yang Qinggan both quit the club. The young man said with some excitement. I heard that you also defeated Wang Peng in the early stage of Stargate. You're very strong. Jiang Changkong figured it out and asked, what were you talking about? It's not a secret. It's like this every year. The martial arts school doesn't interfere in the fights between students. In recent years, the Chu family has produced many talents. Now, the number one in the martial arts school is the third son of the Chu family, Chu Tianyan. As the young man spoke, Jiang Changkong frowned. The Chu family really had a long reach. Chu Tianyan was very strong. He was at the peak of Stargate and the strongest among the students of the martial arts school. After completing the graduation mission, he stayed in the school like Lu Wu Hai. His purpose was obvious. He wanted to get the Starlight Distorted Land. Every year at this time, he would invite students from the other 4 cities to come in advance. The purpose of coming was to ask them to help hunt for star stones. Of course, this help was not personally requested by him. Naturally, others would do it. For example, some juniors or something. As for the Blue Cloud Hunters, this was completely robbery. As for those who dared not to come, the students of their cities would have a hard time when they came to Gangshui Castle in the future. For example, the young man in front of him had to stay in the hospital for half a year because he did not come once. Otherwise, he would have been at the peak of Stargate. The second son of the Chu family is also at the peak of Stargate, Budokai's president Chu Yunha. The young man continued. The eldest son of the Chu family, Chu Yunlong, left a year ago and went to another province. At that time, he was at the peak of Stargate. The Chu family has a long reach. They have a hand in everything, Jiang Changkong said to himself. It can't be helped. The Chu family is a behemoth in Gangshui Castle. Many people hate them. Except for 3 people, no one can beat the old man of the Chu family. The young man said helplessly. Jiang Changkong raised his eyebrows. Oh, is the old man of the Chu family a star spirit expert? Star spirit, my ass. The peak of Hidden Star. I heard that he has been in seclusion for 5 years and has not broken through. I guess there is no hope for him in this life. The young man said disdainfully. Who are the 3 people you're talking about? The commander of Gangshui Castle, the principal of the martial arts school, and the branch president of the Alcade Chamber of Commerce. But they have no grudge against the Chu family, so they will not do anything. The young man explained. From what you said, you seem to have a good understanding of Riverwater City. Jiang Changkong pondered. The young man shook his head and said, Not really. I have been around for a few years. Then let me ask you, do you know the nest of the Blue Cloud Hunters? Chapter 108. Chu Tianqing was right. The 4 brothers of the Chu family were each stronger than the other, and he was the weakest. But that was nothing. With his current leveling speed, the 4 of them combined wouldn't be enough for him to kill. He also had a good understanding of the masters in Gangshui Castle. Gangshui Castle had a junior commander. After all, it was a provincial city, and the Federation had sent someone at the peak of Hidden Star. The principal of the martial arts school was the same. As for the chairman of the Alcade Chamber of Commerce, his strength was unfathomable. It was rumored that he was an astromaster, but no one knew the details, and no one dared to make a move in the Alcade Chamber of Commerce. The Alcade Chamber of Commerce's business covered half of the Federation, and its headquarters was in a major province. If such a giant opened a branch here, no one would dare to provoke it. There were still some martial artists below the peak of Hidden Star in Gangshui Castle, but none of them could beat the old master of the Chu family, who was at the peak of Hidden Star. So, it could be said that the Chu family was the most powerful one. The lair of the Blue Cloud Hunters? The young man's face changed, and he turned pale. Jiang Changkong's eyes flickered. You look like you know. I know, but... The young man looked at his 2 juniors, and then at Jiang Changkong. He gritted his teeth and said in a low voice, To tell you the truth, the Blue Cloud Hunters belong to the Chu family. I know. Jiang Changkong nodded lightly. You know? The young man's eyes widened. Then why did you ask? Jiang Changkong's expression was calm. I hate trouble. I had some grudges, so I killed them all. The young man... The 2 juniors. Didn't you hear how strong the Chu family was? You killed them all just because they had some grudges? Although they had heard of Jiang Changkong's name and knew that he was strong, they didn't expect him to be so bold. 10 miles north of here, there is a small mountain. The Blue Cloud Hunters are there. Seeing that Jiang Changkong was a little impatient, the young man said, Well, what's your name? Which city? If what you said is correct, the martial arts exchange will not harm you, Jiang Changkong said indifferently. Jiang Wenshan of Jiang Tianqing, the young man said with a hint of helplessness. Hopefully, Jiang Changkong wouldn't reveal the location of the Blue Cloud Hunter's lair. If word of this got out, the Chu family would never let him off. Goodbye. Jiang Changkong turned and left. He had killed quite a few of the 18 Blue Cloud Hunters. How many were left? During this period of time, they should have robbed a lot of starstones, right? On the other hand, the Chu family strategy was pretty good. They had made so many people work for them, and the amount of starstones they had accumulated must be very terrifying. When I have the chance, I can give it a try. Wait, Chiang Kai-sheng, Jiang Wenshan called out. Anything else? Jiang Changkong stopped in his tracks. Chiang Kai-sheng, since you want to wipe out the Blue Cloud Hunters, why don't you use your position as their leader to earn some points? Jiang Wenshan asked. Points? I don't think there's such a mission on the official website. Jiang Changkong frowned. It was issued before, but no one completed it, so it was canceled. Jiang Wenshan said in a low voice, Chiang Kai-sheng, you can contact customer service and ask about the situation. And thank you. Jiang Changkong nodded and walked away. The reason why no one completed it was simple. The Chu family was covering for them. The leader of Budokai was Chu Yunha. Once someone accepted the mission, how could he not know? He contacted the official customer service. It was 004 again. After telling him about the annihilation of the Blue Cloud Hunters, 004 immediately gave him a mission. Private mission, annihilate the Blue Cloud Hunters. Reward, 1,000 points. This was the same price as the Shuiyan Mountain Star Demon. Jiang Changkong was shocked. However, he didn't say anything. The more points, the better. He didn't mind it. There were too many places where he could use points in the future. He needed them to exchange potions and level up in Budokai. However, he seemed to have suffered a loss. He had killed 3 members of the Blue Cloud Hunters before. After accepting the mission, Jiang Changkong hurried to the base of the Blue Cloud Hunters. A distance of 10 miles was less than a quarter of an hour for him. It was a small mountain with dense forests and weeds. It wasn't far from the river, so it was a good place. Jiang Changkong entered the small mountain and looked around. His ears trembled. The mountain was silent. Among the weeds, there was a hidden path leading to the top of the mountain. Jiang Changkong walked quickly on the path. Not long after, he sensed danger. Swoosh! 2 green arrows shot out from the ground, heading straight for Jiang Changkong's thighs. The Tai Chi diagram automatically protected him and repelled the arrows. The green arrows fell, and the weeds on the side of the road withered. Poison? Jiang Changkong glanced at it and didn't stop. He continued to move forward. Then there were all kinds of traps, swords, and blades, but they weren't strong. He easily blocked them. 2 minutes later, Jiang Changkong came to a dense forest. The path ended here. Nobody's here? Jiang Changkong frowned and looked around. There was no one around, and the ground was flat. Could it be that Jiang Wenshan lied to him? Unless Jiang Wenshan's name was fake. Otherwise, if he lied to him, he wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. He frowned and sensed his surroundings. His ears trembled, and he heard a faint sound. Underground, Jiang Changkong focused his eyes and raised his palm. Powerful astral power gathered, and he pressed it on the ground. Boom! With a loud bang, the ground cracked and dust flew everywhere. A bright light shone, and there were angry roars. Who dares to come here and cause trouble? A furious roar rang out as 2 figures jumped out from the ground. 2 sword lights slashed towards Jiang Changkong. Jiang Changkong raised his palm. Astral power surged, and the 2 figures were sent flying. Blood splashed everywhere. Overlords from Stargate. The 2 of them vomited blood and looked at him in fear. This is the base of the Blue Cloud Hunters? Underground, come out and face your death. Jiang Changkong didn't move. He looked down at the giant pit. Starlight shone, and there were sounds of breathing. How dare you come here? You're quite capable. A cold voice could be heard as 6 figures leapt out one after another. The leader was an early-stage Stargate martial artist with strong astral power. This person didn't move. Instead, he looked at Jiang Changkong and said, "Who are you? I don't think there's someone like you in Gangshui Castle." After staying in Gangshui Castle for so many years, he knew almost all the Stargate martial artists in Gangshui Castle. However, he had never seen the person in front of him. Blue Cloud Hunters? Just these few? Jiang Changkong frowned. There should be a few more who weren't here. But it didn't matter. He was the leader of the early-stage Stargate martial artists. He raised his palm, and Tai Chi manifested. Vigorous astral force surged. Jiang Changkong, the president of the Rivertown Martial Arts Club. It's you, Jiang Changkong, who ruined the military fire. Everyone's expression changed. The early-stage Stargate martial artist was filled with murderous intent, and a blade aura pierced through the air. The rest of the martial artists also attacked with cold expressions, surrounding and killing him. "Kill yourself," Jiang Changkong said calmly. The Tai Chi spun, and the blade aura turned to attack them. Slash! They were caught off guard. The terrifying Yuling art and Tai Chi combined the blade aura, and a few of them hit their vitals. The blade aura pierced through their throats, and blood gushed out. How is this possible? The early-stage Stargate martial artist retreated in fear. The blade aura pierced through his body. Fortunately, it wasn't his vitals. He was only bleeding and was severely injured. "I still have to kill you. It's so strenuous." Jiang Changkong sighed. Next time, he should put in more effort and attack his opponent's vitals directly. The blade spun, and a golden light shone like the rising sun. The early-stage Stargate martial artist had just opened his mouth when his head flew into the air. Blood spurted out like a fountain. After killing this person, the blade didn't stop and continued to attack the rest of the martial artists. Some martial artists wanted to escape. The blade aura shot out and killed them in one slash. In the blink of an eye, the lair of the blue cloud hunters was destroyed. Jiang Changkong searched a few of them. There was only a ring on the early-stage Stargate martial artist. It was 10 cubic meters, and there was a pile of starstones inside. He jumped into the pit. There were a few instruments and a pile of starstones inside. Most of them were rank 3. Together with the space ring, it was enough to upgrade one martial art. I'm rich. Eh. Jiang Changkong's joy faded. Someone was coming. Chapter 109. You have a good eye. It can be considered a beautiful place. It's a good place to relax. She was wearing a white dress. Her skin was smooth, and her hair was as black as ink. She was standing on top of the mountain and looking into the distance. Why don't you take a look at who picked this place? I'm so stressed out in the big province, so I came to Gangshui Castle to relax. His long hair trailed over his shoulders and the fat on his face jiggled. His body was full of astral powers. He was wearing luxurious clothes, and a jade pendant hung around his waist. He wasn't a handsome man, but he was a rich man. Yeah, I'm stressed out. The woman in white sighed. The wind blew and her dress fluttered. If I could, I'd like to spend the rest of my life here and never go back. Unfortunately, it's not up to us. The chubby young master closed his eyes and enjoyed the breeze. Then he frowned and said, "The smell of blood? The star demon is gone, and there are few traces of humans here. Why would there be the smell of blood?" The woman in the white dress was slightly surprised. She looked at the mountain and tapped her feet lightly. Her body was like a swallow as she stepped on the weeds and headed straight for the mountain. "Wait for me." The fat boy hurried to catch up. Although he was fat, he was as fast as the woman. After a few seconds, they stopped in front of a huge pit. There were 8 bodies there. Jiang Changkong had just collected the astral stones and jumped out of the pit when he saw the 2 of them. They were faster than he had expected. He had just sensed their presence, and they were already here. Blue cloud hunters? The fat boy looked at the bodies on the ground. There was a blue cloud pattern on their clothes. He recognized them right away. "You are?" Jiang Changkong looked calm and collected. He mobilized the astral powers in his body. The Chu family controlled Gangshui Castle, and Budokai was also under the Chu family's control. The 2 of them were here, and they recognized the blue cloud hunters. They were probably on the same side. Both of them were powerful. Although Jiang Changkong looked calm, they sensed a hint of murderous intent. "You killed him?" asked the fat boy. "Yes," Jiang Changkong said calmly. Now that the surveillance was still there, as long as the 2 of them dared to make a move, they would be killed together. Thinking of this, his eyes couldn't help but light up. These 2 had extraordinary strength, so he should be able to get more points. "You have guts. You dare to kill the blue cloud hunters in Gangshui Castle." The fat boy praised. He sensed a strong killing intent and waved his hand. "Don't worry, we're not their people. We're just here to relax." Jiang Changkong frowned. "Can you walk all the way here to relax?" "I'm just here to relax. Believe it or not, it's up to you." The fat boy said faintly, "Retract your killing intent. With your strength, it's not even enough for us to slap you." Jiang Changkong. Could it be that you're experts at the middle stage of the Hidden Star Realm or above? Although he hadn't fought with the Hidden Star Realm before, if they were in the early stage, even if he couldn't beat them, he should have no problem escaping. There were few peak Hidden Star Realm experts in Gangshui Castle, but there were still some below the peak. Jiang Changkong couldn't figure them out. He really couldn't see through the strength of these 2. "Let's go." The lady in white shook her head and left. This time, I didn't understand the situation. "Mungjia, wait for me." The fat boy hurriedly followed. Jiang Changkong was confused. Could it be that they were really here to relax? Forget it. I'll just hand in the mission first. After obtaining 1,000 points, Jiang Changkong started to upgrade his blazing sun art. He harvested quite a lot of starstones. His essence, chi, and spirit were extracted. After upgrading his blazing sun art, the Stargate condensed a bit more. Majestic astral power surged out, and the astral power in his body became thicker. Jiang Changkong, early stage of Stargate mid-tier, low-grade martial arts, indestructible diamond divine art. Entry level, 5,000 Taiji mysterious art. Entry level, 5,000, 5,000 blazing sun art. Entry level, 5,000, 5,000 3 strokes of grace. Entry level, 1/5,000 Yuling art. Entry level, 5,000, 5,000 essence, chi, and spirit. 193. Looking at the data of his martial arts, Jiang Chankong started to ponder about his current situation. He didn't need the 3 strokes of grace for the time being. He could keep it and upgrade it slowly. The indestructible diamond divine art was the foundation. The Taiji fist was a great help, and the blazing sun art was a martial art that he could do it himself. The Yuling art was a must. Only when the martial arts were balanced would the Yuling art be able to unleash its greatest power. In that case, I'll just upgrade my martial arts. Thinking of this, Jiang Chankong directly upgraded all 4 martial arts to the initial stage. Boom! Majestic astral power surged, and the Stargate condensed. The astral power in his dantian surged. The power in his body was also increasing rapidly. The Force inscription vibrated. Golden light bloomed on the surface of his body, and the Taiji fist appeared automatically. Flames burned on the surface. Jiang Chankong. Middle stage of Stargate mid-tier, low-grade martial arts. Indestructible diamond divine art. Entry level, 1/25,000 Taiji mysterious art. Entry level, 1/25,000 blazing sun art. Entry level, 1/25,000 3 strokes of grace. Entry level, 1/5,000 Yuling art. Entry level, 1/25,000 essence, energy, and spirit. 189-inch 5 times. Jiang Chankong gritted his teeth. It had increased by 5 times. How much essence, energy, and spirit would he need to upgrade in the future? Forget it. I'll go kill the star demon first. Leaving his name on the ground, Jiang Chankong used the mystic yang steps and left the hill. Let's try using the Yuling art. Jiang Chankong pondered and used the Yuling art to activate the mystic yang steps. The two worked together, and his speed suddenly increased. Like a golden light, Jiang Chankong disappeared in an instant. Unfortunately, flying was still a bit lacking. Although the Yuling art was magical, it could only allow him to fly for a short period of time. It also consumed a lot of energy and couldn't last long. The Mystic Yang Steps was the safest choice. Along the way, Jiang Chankong didn't see the two of them, but he didn't mind. Since he was in the middle stage of Stargate, his strength had increased. Today, he had to kill more. Arriving at the riverside, Jiang Chankong confirmed that there was no one around. His sharp eyes pierced through the river and found the star demon in the shallow waters. Saber chi shot out. The high temperature of the blazing sun art completely ignored the river water. The principle of water restraining fire didn't work on him. Not long later, blood dyed the river red again. The star demon roared and rushed over. Jiang Chankong killed while extracting essence, energy, and spirit. Blood chi soared into the sky. The dense smell of blood spread in all directions, attracting countless star demon. Jiang Chankong happily extracted essence, energy, and spirit. In less than 2 days, he would be able to kill to 5,000 essence, energy, and spirit. Even if he didn't upgrade the 3 strokes of grace, he would be able to upgrade his other martial arts. While he was happily killing, far away, the white-dressed lady and the fat boy were strolling by the river. The river is clear and beautiful. If there wasn't a star demon, it would be interesting to take a boat trip, the white-dressed lady said with longing. I can't do anything about the river, but the lake shouldn't be a problem. The fat boy smiled. There is a small lake nearby. The star demon is weaker there. I can get someone to clean it up. Forget it. What's there to swim in the lake? The white-dressed lady shook her head. The sea breeze blew, and she frowned. There's the smell of blood again. How can there be so much killing in such a small place? It really spoils my mood. The fat boy frowned and was a little annoyed. Such a dense smell of blood. Who would be so daring? I'll go take a look. She went to the mountain to relax, but was disturbed. She came to the river for a walk and was disturbed again. Wait. What an impatient person. The white-dressed lady wanted to stop her, but the fat boy had already rushed over. She could only follow helplessly. The fat boy was extremely fast. In a few breaths, He had already reached the place of killing. A young man was wantonly killing the star demon by the river. The river was dyed red. If it was a normal day, he would call him a fierce warrior. But now that he saw who it was, he was furious. It's him again. It's the second time. He really needs to be taught a lesson for disturbing my mood. Let's go back. We're just taking a walk. There's no need to be so calculative, the white-dressed lady said. No, Mungjia, wait for me. These people from such a small place are sitting in a pond. I have to teach them a lesson today. The fat boy snorted. His powerful astral power vibrated, and his round body appeared behind Jiang Chongkong like a phantom. Huh? Jiang Chongkong stopped and looked at him strangely. We meet again. What do you mean? Disturbing my mood. I'll teach you a lesson. The fat boy snorted, and the starlight in his palm shone brightly. Looks like you're related to the blue cloud hunters. Jiang Chongkong's expression turned serious. Is he going to make a move? I can kill many people like you easily. I'll give you some time to prepare. The fat boy snorted. The starlight in his palm shone brightly, and a strong surge of astral power fluctuated violently. One move. Jiang Chongkong's face darkened, and his blade vibrated. But this guy looks like he's at the top of Stargate. Should I capture him alive and force him to hand over the star stones? Chapter 110. Boom. The Stargate was forced back by the dazzling starlight and the powerful astral power. The chubby young master pushed out his palm, and a powerful aura followed. Pure astral power, no killing intent at all. Huh? Jiang Chongkong felt suspicious in his heart. Was this person really from the Clear Sky Demon Hunter team? Why was there no killing intent? Jiang Chongkong didn't understand. He put the blade on the ground and raised his right hand. You don't have to use the blade. Very good. I won't hurt you too much. A strange look flashed in the plump young master's eyes, but his palm force was not weak at all. Jiang Chongkong didn't say a word and collided with his palm. Buzz. The Tai Chi painting appeared automatically. The Tai Chi painting spun rapidly, and 40% of the power was transferred to the fat boy. What? The fat boy was startled. He quickly gathered his astral power and saw a surge of astral power coming from Jiang Chongkong's palm. Boom! The explosion was heard, and the sand was flying everywhere. The fat boy quickly moved back and waved his left hand to offset 40% of the astral power. After pushing the fat boy back, Jiang Chongkong's expression was cold. Tell me where the star stones are, and I'll let you die in one piece. You said I'm a blue cloud hunter, and you want to let me die in one piece? The fat boy's face turned red, and a sword appeared in his hand. Kid, you've really pissed me off. Do you really think you're invincible just because you blocked my attack? A resplendent golden light soared into the sky. Under the rage of the plump young master, he no longer concealed the peak of the starry door. The golden blade was filled with heat waves, and the golden flames were dancing. True sun sword. The golden light released a terrifying heat wave, and countless astral power poured into the blade, forming a small golden sun. The temperature was so high that the sand under his feet was instantly dried up, and the river was evaporating. Huh, it's the same as my astral power. Jiang Chongkong was slightly surprised and excited. Just nice. The Ardent Sun Association's Ardent Sun, one saber, blazing sun. The blazing sun blade was like the rising sun, warm and genial. They were both scorching sun moves, one a sword, the other a saber. The fat boy was also a bit flabbergasted. He sensed that Jiang Chongkong's blazing sun saber wasn't the slightest bit weaker than his. But now was not the time to think about this. He had to teach this guy a big lesson. Kill. The fat boy snorted coldly. With a true yang sword, the miniature sun pressed down. The rising sun was warm and genial, but it hid a terrifying power. Jiang Chongkong used 70% of his astral power. Rumble. They collided, and Tai Chi rose again. 40% of the astral power was transferred to the fat boy's chest. 70% of the astral power, the blazing sunblade, pressed down. The fat boy's expression changed. He hurriedly stepped back, but he didn't have time to defend against the blazing sunblade and was immediately injured. Spurting out blood, the plump young master's face turned pale as he looked at Jiang Chongkong in anger. If he hadn't stepped back in time, he wouldn't have just spat out a mouthful of blood. Where did this guy come from? Since when did Gangshui Castle have such a powerful fighter? Also, why does my move attack me? The chubby young master was dumbfounded. That move was really shameless. Looks like you won't be able to kill me with one move. Jiang Changkong had an indifferent expression. With his hands behind his back, he said coldly, "The warm-up is over. It's your turn now." Huh? The fat boy's face darkened, and he said coldly, "You're crazy. I'd like to see what's so special about your attack." "Young man, why don't we just let it go? We don't want to be your enemy," the woman in the white dress said. "Just let it go if you can't defeat me. There's no such logic in this world." Jiang Changkong looked at the fat boy and said, "I'll give you time to prepare. Mengjia, don't worry about me. I'm going to teach this guy a lesson today." The fat boy snorted and looked at Jiang Changkong. "No need to prepare. Combine the 3 suns." The long sword vibrated, and a large amount of astral power flew out, forming 3 small suns. The power of the 3 suns instantly multiplied. Clang! The sound of the blade was deafening, and the sky was suddenly dyed red. It was like the sun, like fire, and like blood, emitting a bleak aura. One blade, sunset. Jiang Changkong didn't move and converted 80% of the astral power in his body into the blazing sun astral power. The power of the sword of sunset suddenly increased, and an invisible pressure made the fat boy's face darken. Slash! Jiang Changkong let out a soft shout, and the saber of the setting sun suddenly descended. Kill! The swords of the 3 suns were unleashed. Watch out! The lady in the white dress's expression changed, and she quickly moved. Boom! The sword of sunset fell, and a terrifying blade chi spread in all directions, turning the star demon into a mist of blood. Sand covered the sky and blocked the view. The river water splashed like rain. The long sword circled around and landed next to Jiang Kong, floating quietly in the air. After a long while, the sand and dust settled, and 2 figures appeared in front of them. The fat boy's hair was disheveled, and he vomited blood. His face was pale. "I'm at a tough guy this time. Who can tell me why there's such a fierce guy in this small place?" The lady in the white dress looked serious. Her right hand that was holding the sword was torn, and blood was dripping down. "Next attack, you'll die." Jiang Changkong held the handle of the sword with his right hand, and the sunset appeared again. "Wait." The lady in the white dress quickly said, "We're not the remnants of the Green Cloud sect, and we have no intention to be your enemy. The reason why we attacked was because you interrupted our stroll twice." Taking a stroll outside the city? How elegant! Jiang Changkong's expression was cold, but he didn't believe it. Did they have nothing better to do than to take a stroll so far away? "We're all at the peak of Stargate. The Blue Cloud Hunters can't afford to hire us." The lady in the white dress frowned. "Believe it or not, we're just taking a stroll." Jiang Changkong frowned. The Blue Cloud Hunters indeed couldn't order the peak of Stargate around, but the Chu family was different. The Chu clan? Jiang Changkong's eyes flickered with an ominous glint. "Do you think the Chu family can afford to hire us?" The fat boy said in disdain. "The clothes I'm wearing can make the eldest of the Chu family work for a month." Jiang Changkong. This guy was bragging as if he was very rich. "Little brother, no discord, no concord. I apologize for my previous recklessness." The fat boy wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and said sincerely, since he couldn't beat them, apologizing was the best choice. If he was killed, it wouldn't be worth it. The lady in the white dress raised her palm, and a golden barrier shone, enveloping her and the fat boy. "You can't even break a 5th-grade protective shield. Let's forget about it." Jiang Changkong narrowed his eyes. "Who are you?" 5th-grade protective shields were at the hidden stargrade. In Gangshui Castle, there weren't many that could be used. "My name is Nan Tianwang. This is my sister, Yao Ming. She's not from Jianghai. She's here to play," the fat boy said. "Not from Jianghai? Big province? Normal province?" Jiang Changkong raised his eyebrows. Normal province, the fat boy said. "How should I address you?" Jiang Changkong was silent for a moment. "Do you still hold a grudge?" The 2 of them. "No, I don't hold a grudge." The fat boy's mouth twitched. If you held a grudge, would you kill us? Jiang Changkong said calmly. I won't tell you my name. I'm very vengeful. We're not enemies. The two of them were speechless. You attacked me for no reason and delayed me from killing the star demon. We have a grudge against each other. Compensate me with 20 low-grade, third-grade star stones, Jiang Changkong said indifferently. The time he wasted was enough to kill 20 early-stage StarCraft star demon. He didn't ask for much. He just wanted to compensate for his losses.